by beating the Royals in Kansas City 7-1. Durant hit a ninth-inning three-run homer to break the game open and added a pair of great fielding plays in left as well.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, this team's been putting some good at-bats together. We may not be producing a lot of runs right now, but we're getting the opportunities, and that's huge for us. And we know we're going to come through every once in a while, but, we just got to keep pushing the gas.
Wilson Contreras added 3 RBIs as well. Connolly early will pitch tonight as the Sox go for a 3-game sweep. In NBA news, we had a collapse for the ages by Cleveland in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Cavaliers led the Knicks 93-71 with under 8 minutes to go, and they lost in overtime 115-104. Jalen Brunson, 38 points for the Knicks in the win. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals is tonight. San Antonio visits Oklahoma City up 1-0. The Dallas Mavericks fired head coach Jason Kidd yesterday with 4 years still left on his contract. The Bruins' Charlie McAvoy has decided not to appeal his 6-game suspension. He will sit out the beginning of next season. At the Stanley Cup playoffs, Colorado hosts Las Vegas in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. The NHL has also denied an appeal by the Golden Knights of a $100,000 fine to head coach John Tortorella and the docking of a second-round draft pick. Tortorella didn't meet the media after Vegas clinched their last series and kept the locker room closed as well. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103 celebrating 125 years of powering Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Break me.
We all know what, but we... Hey, what? Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Anchorman, heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked her about the sides.
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
This right here, you sweet bitch.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Happy hump day. Getting over that hump on a balmy,
A little sticky out there.
balmy day here in the Bean Town. Look out Sunday, 58 degrees and rain. Your Memorial Day weekend. If you're planning on doing anything, too bad. You suck. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. You can download the podcast if you would like to hear the show. If you're listening live and you would like to hear the show, download the podcast, all right?
Yeah.
Get with the times,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
Get
good.
with the times. Adam, it's very exciting. Today's library day for me.
Oh, delightful.
It moved from Monday because my son's baseball game on Monday. Now I will be at the library.
Newton Free.
Newton Free Library.
Well, maybe you'll run into who you thought was Peter Wolf again.
Oh, nice.
I'm really convinced that was Peter Wolf. I would like to know where Peter Wolf lives.
Well, he's got to be local. I got a press release the other day about he's got something or other happening, and I ignored it completely because F that guy. He could have come on our show and chose not to.
Well, yeah, okay. That would have been – so he's doing press?
I don't know. He's older. He's probably being inducted into some, situation.
Yeah. So because Steven Tyler got ice cream.
Yeah, he loves ice cream, and he loves going to local businesses.
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, it's great.
Does he still live in Marshfield? Because as of the writing of his book, like 15, 20 years ago, he was in Marshfield.
Yeah.
So he was down there. But I know Peter Wolf, there's no way he doesn't live in Boston. He's got so much equity in Boston.
Right.
I'm sure he lives here. Do you think he's rich?
Wow, that's a good
That's
one.
a really good question. I mean, Jay Giles' band sold a lot of records because they were a band at a time when you could sell a lot of records and make a lot of money doing that, and they played out a ton. They would headline the Garden like as a local band back in the 70s. So I'm guessing probably not filthy rich, but probably comfortable rich.
Okay,
They were headlining in the mid '80s too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long run there.
Okay, but you're talking about money now. So to my understanding, Jay Giles left the band. He didn't really do anything. Then they brought in a guy who wrote all of the album Freeze Frame. And so he would get the publishing from all those songs, which are the ones that probably made money for them.
And still get played on the radio.
And then Jay Giles sued the band for the name while they were out touring, even though he was just the name. He wasn't the leader of the band or wasn't a writer. And so he sued them successfully for the name so they can't tour as Jay Giles, is my understanding of the situation. So if they can't play as Jay Giles, that means no income's coming in. If he didn't write, again, I hope he's wealthy. I really do. He has a fascinating life. I listened to his book. But, and then if he didn't write any of the songs on Freeze Frame, I'm wondering how much money is coming in. If you even have one hit album, you get that. The guy from Sugar Ray calls it his teacher salary. You get basically a pension for the rest of your life. You get I think Mark McGrath was saying it's $100,000 or something, $80,000 in royalties every year.
Right.
And so, and that's without licensing the song to something, if that's a possibility. So you get a little bit of, I bet you he gets about that much in royalties. I don't know what he wrote.
And he's been in Boston forever. I want to imagine he lives in a brownstone that he's been living in since the late 1970s that he either bought for a song or he's got a deal worked out where he can basically live there for free.
You've created a whole thing for him.
One of those old school guys
Wow.
that, maybe he's got all those kind of connections so that he doesn't need to bring in a
I'd
lot
like
of
to
money.
see him in a second floor condo, not necessarily in the Fenway, but I feel like he's more South End situation.
Yeah, right on the South End back
I
border.
thought he was a North End guy.
Huh? I don't know.
I mean,
where did he live
he
when
used to hang in the North End.
Where did he live when he lived with David Lynch? I think he was over in the back there.
Well, that was in college.
Yeah.
So that would be in the 40s. So I don't know if he's still in that place.
But you fall in love with the neighborhood. Maybe he's not in the same place. Maybe he stays in the same neighborhood.
But he was married to Faye Dunaway after that and living in New York City. So you can erase the David Lynch thing as much as that gives you an erection. That was a very brief moment in time for Mr. Peter Wolf.
But an important one.
I don't know if it was very important for him because he didn't know that he had roomed with David Lynch until years later.
Fair.
Now, if you go,
he didn't remember.
If you go to the Cambridge Historical Society webpage, which I'm sure we do, even if you don't have it bookmarked, you
Certainly.
just it pops right up. The Peter Wolf apartment has its own entry on historycambridge.org. And this is just blocks away from Club 47. Wolf invited performers to use the apartment rather than the cramped club dressing room between sets. His friendship with Muddy Waters meant that the Wolf apartment also housed members of the Muddy Waters Blues Band when they played in the Cambridge area. They hosted parties when the club would shut down for the night. With folk music at the heart, similar parties nationwide became known as hootenannies or hoots.
Okay.
So that is all from the
Cambridge. Hoots, right. Rocky Suarez is in a jug band, pun intended. And so the gang gets together and it's just pick up whatever you want, who cares? We're looking at those cans jiggling. Anything but the accordion. Don't cover up those two casabas, right? Those two heavy hangers.
Don't play the washboard either. That covers everything. I don't need that.
Someone had a Jugs magazine when they were a kid, so they know a million different ways to say boobs. He did co-write Freeze Frame. He probably got a little bit of money. But see, my point is with Peter Wolf Lives, and I'm sure that this is fascinating for the audience, is that why would he be in Newton? That's the thing. The Newton Free Library in the periodical section, that's the hook. But I'm almost certain that it was him. 75% sure. And we locked eyes, and then he gave a double take as if like, do I recognize this guy? He didn't know who I was, but like, you know, he'd seen that face before, which is, you know, how most people look at me that live around here. I know I don't like him.
Face that launched 1,000 takes.
By the way, Peter Wolf also responsible for the pee on the wall, but you know the word they use.
Yeah, the flip to the flop.
Which my mom would not let me buy the Freeze Frame album because of that. Yet I had a Number of the Beast poster on my wall at that time when I was 6 years old. And I might have had the Sex Pistols, never mind the Bollocks, when I was 6 years old. But she wouldn't let me buy Freeze Frame.
Yeah, because she found it coarse.
And I remember going to school and for maybe the last time in my life admitting something that made me look bad and saying that that I did not have the Freeze Frame album. There's this book that was suggested to me by a listener about this jazz saxophonist which is apparently this memoir that's like one of the craziest music memoirs of all time.
Who?
He's a Los Angeles white guy. I can't remember the name off the top of his head. I just read the introduction last night. But anyway, in the introduction, it's not written by him, obviously. And they said he has the narcissistic tendency to overshare. And then I wondered, I'd never heard that before. And so I wonder if that's a symbol of my narcissism.
Oh yeah, that's one of the telltale signs.
But then I don't understand how you cannot be a narcissist, because either way, you're either oversharing or you're not sharing, and then isn't that all narcissistic? Like I don't like. Sometimes there seems to be a catch-22. If you understand the phrase.
If you think that everything about your life is interesting, you need to overshare, and that people are clamoring for more about you because it's all about you. Yes, that would be narcissism. I don't know why undersharing would be a symptom of it also.
Like you're too good to like give anyone any information. I can give you examples of narcissism when people are like hiding things.
Go ahead. Oh.
So just kind of walked right into that. I wasn't even expecting it.
But I did think that was an interesting thing, because like this guy is like going crazy about how good the book is in the introduction, but he's saying how like narcissistic it was for him to overshare. And I don't know how you overshare in a memoir. It's inherently about you. I guess it's like such a confessional. Like he admits to like terrible crimes.
See, I didn't think about it.
Like stuff you don't admit to.
Right, but I don't think about it.
He was still alive.
It's an interesting statement, makes you think about things outside of a memoir. Of course, in a memoir, that's what a memoir is for.
But he's referring to the memoir and like that he's so narcissistic that he overshares in the memoir.
Well, if you know that you're a narcissist, are you really a narcissist?
Kaboom.
How about that? Like Howard Stern, I think... Is there anyone who would argue that, in addition to being, the greatest radio guy ever, is also a narcissist? But I don't think Howard truly believes that or thinks that he is.
But he's in a position where he has to talk about his life. Like, that's the thing, is that he's got to go on the radio and talk about his life. I don't know what he's like off the air.
But he was like that before he was in a position where he had to do it. He was always talking about all aspects of his life, and that is a telltale sign of his narcissism. The fact that he goes to therapy still 5 days a week.
Look, all I know is that from the on-air stuff is that you can't go by that necessarily, because that's what's made him successful. His sharing honestly or whatever it is about his life has made him successful. That's sort of what radio is that like opportunity to like have the audience feel like they're a part of your life, even though they're not. which can be annoying sometimes because then people think that they like know everything and then they make assumptions based on that, and then an assumption based on that assumption. I've told about this before, is that you'll hear things and they're like 6 degrees from something that never happened, and they've added 5 other things that never happened on top of it. Well, if this must have happened, then this must happen. If this must have happened, this is true. And it gets to be this like convoluted sea of like misinformation. And it's all based on an assumption because like you shared it about your life, but you're also on the radio where you have to make it entertaining. So I don't know. Chances are I would guess Howard Stern's very narcissistic. But I don't know, was he a narcissist before he had great success sharing about his life? That would be an interesting foray into it. He's definitely, I would think, narcissistic based on his ability to blame his parents for everything to this day. Like, I think that's a lot. That, you know,
when does one become a narcissist? Are you born with it, or is it something that you develop into?
Right. Like, so, you know, a stand-up comic that talks about their life crafts like a good 70 minutes, and they go around for a year doing that 70 minutes. Howard Stern has to be funny about his life, or did have to be funny about his life, 5 days a week, 23 hours a week. I mean, and then you get rewarded for that. And then so you have to keep doing it. And then I wonder if that spills out when you have that level of success.
Starts, feeding the demon. Yeah.
Because if you were like, Fred, you're a narcissist, I would be like, probably. But if you would go, it's because of what you say on the air, I'd be like, well, then what do you want me to do? Like, I don't know how to fill this time successfully and how to be funny necessarily without giving my perspective or sharing from my experience. Do you understand?
How about breaking down the ball game? You ever think about doing that?
Yeah, but beyond my abilities, you have to know your weaknesses as a narcissist, and that would be one. As much as I would love to delve into the Red Sox for 4 hours, I literally couldn't do it. Not because it's boring or I don't want to, but because I couldn't. I could literally not fill the time. I couldn't fill the time if we went pitch by pitch because there's not 4 hours of pitches. I don't know how I would do it. This is not being above it either. Felger and Maz talk about sports for 4 hours a day, and they're great. I couldn't do it. Not because I wouldn't want to, but because I couldn't. And I knew that going into sports radio. I knew I could not do that. So I had to find the happy medium and had to discuss that happy medium with management every day for a year or two. Which in retrospect, maybe it was longer, but in retrospect, it was probably good.
Conversations went like this: you need to do blank, and you said, "I can't."
Yes,
I won't. I will do this instead.
In retrospect, having to meet with management every day when the Sports Hub met is probably good because it kept management in the loop.
Yeah.
And then, there was a relationship there. So I think that was a good thing. And I didn't mind it at the time. I didn't mind it on a consistent basis. I didn't go home and ruminate over how much I hated meeting with management. I mean, I'm sure it annoyed me, and I'm sure at times that it pissed me off, but I don't recall, John can tell me, I don't recall constantly being annoyed by it.
No. There were flare-ups, but you would expect that. You went in and did something that you thought was pretty good, and then Mike would call you in and say, don't do that, and you're like, well, you don't understand what I'm trying to do, that kind of stuff, but that was rare. That wasn't constant.
And I would have very one-on-one, very involved conversations with Mike about it, where he would listen to me, and then he would give his point of view, and I would listen to him about I remember very early in the show, he had a problem with something innocuous, and I was like, well, when you buy Sports Illustrated, they'll do a feature story on someone, but it's not about 5% of it is about in-game stuff, and the rest is, about their personality and about off-the-court stuff. And I was, kind of giving that as an example of not being overly indulgent on breaking down the actual games, and I thought that was a positive conversation because at first he was hesitant, But then I think I might have.
Well, everyone was under a lot of pressure, and there was only one way that sports radio had been done up until that point. So I think that was part of it. Yes.
You said it, not me.
Yes.
John feeds the narcissism.
John came from that side of the fence and recognized what the problem was.
There's a lot of pressure on John. That's what I took away from that. He had a lot of pressure.
Now I'm a narcissist?
You had a lot of pressure on you, John. For this station to succeed.
Right.
You know what? Long overdue. Congratulations.
John was walking into a situation blind. You got to give John a little credit.
John had no clue.
No, John didn't know what was.
On account of his thick glasses?
No, because he hadn't lost his hearing yet. He was almost entirely.
It's true. I had two working ears at the time.
He was almost entirely dependent on his hearing for sensory. Dan, go ahead.
When parents of our upbringing, and you've mentioned how your father could not tell a joke and doesn't understand humor, so you've developed a good way of being funny and telling jokes. So I just want to give you a little digital hug and say, you're doing good, Freddie. You're doing good. You made me proud. Okay?
You should have said you were my father, and Dan, maybe that would have healed a lot of things. No, my father has an inability to be funny, like an absolute inability. And I don't hear him laugh very often. He's almost, it's almost eerie how unfunny he is. Like completely unfunny. Like he doesn't say anything remotely resembling anything funny, even when he's trying. And zero sense of humor. I've never seen him consume comedy. Ever.
Really?
Never. Never seen him watch a comedy movie. Never seen him watch a sitcom.
Whoa.
No, never. He used to watch C-SPAN. C-SPAN, which no one's going to know. C-SPAN showed the Senate. What do you mean the Senate? They had a fixed camera on the Senate.
Yeah.
And so for all day, it would just be the Senate. I don't know what the hell he was looking for. But he would watch that. He would watch that in sports.
It's almost like he was hiding from it. You know how hard it is to avoid sitcoms and stand-up comedy, and over the course of your life, that's really hard to do.
I swear on everything I love, that I don't recall him ever watching a situation comedy. I don't recall him ever watching TV, like regular TV. I'm sure he did before cable, and who knows what he was doing. He wasn't around. I mean, he lived in the house, but he would be in his room or he'd be out of town. So, like, he wasn't really around a lot. So, I don't know really what he did. He didn't, like, sit down in the living room and, like, watch TV with us. Like he was gone. He was gone, like, 3 days a week. Hardy's dad traveled a lot, too, but he was gone all the time. So, like, he had another family. No, if it was anyone else, I'd go, you probably had another family, but there's no way that my dad had another family.
My dad didn't travel a lot, but he wasn't home a lot.
Okay.
He got his mail at a restaurant called Bedell's. That's where he spent most of his time.
My friend Ryan, his dad was never home. He was at the Franklin Tennis Club, but he wasn't playing a lot of tennis.
Yeah.
He was at the Franklin Tennis Club.
Yeah.
In quotations, like, where's your dad been for the last 3 days? Oh, he's at the Franklin Tennis Club. He sleeps there? Okay.
That is the exact opposite. It's so strange to hear you say that because my dad, like, he didn't sit down and, like, watch comedy movies. It wasn't like he put Richard Pryor on. But my dad was known, like, his whole life for knowing every joke. And he could, if you told a joke to my father, he would have 5 more because he just had like a mind that kept every joke in his head, and he would tell. He knew all the jokes. He would tell all the jokes at his memorial when people got up and told jokes. Mm-hmm. At least I tried to get people to do that because that's what he would have loved and wanted. And so it was constantly like that. I think on their honeymoon, my mom and dad went and saw a red fox.
Wow.
They got married in Las Vegas, and it's like that's how they chose to spend their time. I mean, that was
wow.
So for him, it's
ribald,
the polar opposite of your upbringing, Fred.
Oh yeah,
my dad was constantly, always with jokes.
Because I would listen, because on road trips I would listen to like comedy tapes and stuff, and I don't recall him being anything but annoyed. So no, I didn't. He never consumed.
You didn't watch Hee Haw?
No, I don't recall. That's a hee-haws at the very beginning of my memory. I don't hee-haw, like I recall hating it, but I was very, very little. I knew I wanted no part of it. That's all I know. That was one of the first shows that I recall going, ooh, I don't like this at all. And I used to watch Solid Gold when I was little. And go back and try to see how you can.
Danny Terrio?
Yeah, you want to feel old. Go watch Solid Gold and go, that was on TV when I was alive. For like a long time.
Danny Terrio was Dance Fever.
Oh, Dance Fever. Oh, and
Dionne Warwick, I believe, was Solid Gold.
And then Danny Terrio replaced by Adrian Zmed.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Zmed man. Let's go, dude. Let's share a tub with some chicks. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with everything that happened last night.
More Toucher and Hardy on.
hello. We are Toucher and Artie. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what occurred last evening?
Red Sox in Kansas City for the second of three. And once again, this team so poor on defense in the early goings this season, starting to show themselves, John Wallach.
And sucked into left field, driving Duran back, still back, leaping up. And Duran able to make a fantastic play. Leaping up at the last second. It looked like it was right over his head.
This catch.
That is a heck of a play.
Wow.
So much so that now the narrative is changing for the Red Sox. Duran, after the game, said...
Yeah, I mean, like Wilson said, defense is something we can control. We can always be in the right spots and make the plays for our pitchers and help back them up. We haven't been scoring a lot of runs for them, but we can always get their back on defense, and that's something we hold our hat on.
Yeah, they
makes up for not scoring.
They have been first month of the season they were atrocious fielding the baseball. Now they are fantastic. They are really, really good all over the place. So I can't say anything negative about it. Jarren Duran made a couple of really good plays in the outfield. That call you played saved a run in a 1-0 game.
Well,
so
it's interesting. The new manager, he said, we're going to do infield, outfield. He said, you guys are going to take ground balls, fly balls.
Hey, go figure.
He's like, I'm going to have a guy hit fungos to the infield, a guy hit fungos to the outfield. He goes, here we go. Repetition. And the team responded. They were like, we haven't done infield, outfield. We haven't taken ground balls in 2 years. We get to the games and we're all rusty. And, that was what it took. It took
Valentine-esque.
It took innovation from the team.
So, yes, you're right, John. They're not scoring a lot of runs, and the Red Sox did have the lead, but courtesy of, less than crowd-pleasing RBI singles until.
Swinging a high fly ball, right field deep. That's way back into the corner. She's sailing. She is gone. Home run, Jarren Duran.
Why is the ball that's being batted around by men a woman?
That's a good question.
Oh, good catch,
question.
Fred.
I don't know if you
Home run, Jarren Duran.
If you want to go after Nesson, that's very possible. I don't like that.
That's way back into the corner. She's sailing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Hey, not so great. And now that ball, she's the property of whoever catches her, whatever man.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
No.
Big problem.
I don't know if you want to sue Nesson, but I mean, I guess you could boycott him if you really want to. I wouldn't say that.
Start with a strongly worded letter sent via mail.
Get your friends together and start an online petition.
That ninth inning 3-run blast from Jarren Duran would put the Sox up 6-1. They would hold on to win 7-1 last night. And the champ, how'd you do it with that ball that you hit out?
Just trying to have a good approach. I mean, it was a really good changeup, and I just got in my area and put a good swing on it, and just happened to be a homer.
I'm so modest.
Nice.
Maybe not so modest. It was a really good changeup. Okay.
So that is 2 in a row. They will win this series. We know that.
The second series they've won since Chad Tracy took over.
That's right.
Good for them.
They will wrap up this set tonight. Sox improve to 21-27 on the season.
Still making mistakes, but the pitching is really, really good. Again, Ranger Suarez was all over the place last night. Didn't make it out of the fifth inning. The bullpen was spectacular. Jarren Duran made this was a truly great evening for Jarren Duran. He was thrown out trying to steal second. He was thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple, and yet came back and hit a home run and made 2 great defensive plays. Red Sox left the bases loaded in the second inning, had the bases loaded, 1 out, and the second and third place hitters come into the plate and did not score early. But they did enough to win, which is different than what they've been doing recently.
Well, they did way more than enough to win, sad sack.
Yep.
They won 7-1.
They did. An offensive explosion.
For them, yeah, it's the first time in 3 series that they've scored over 3 runs. So
yes.
Congratulations to them.
No, the sad sacks are in Cleveland this morning.
Yeah, this is funny because I think we're all in the same boat. you went to sleep going, wow, Cleveland won game one.
Yeah.
They're not always great in game one to get a lot of rest before the series, and then you wake up.
Yeah, because despite a 22-point fourth quarter lead with less than 8 minutes to go, the New York Knicks said not so fast.
Back toward midcourt. Brunson right wing again. Steps back, finds Bridges, far corner three-pointer. Hits again. 2 clutch threes from Mikal Bridges.
And Jalen Brunson doing all sorts of Jalen Brunson things.
Behind the back, right wing, off the dribble three. He got it! Jalen Brunson is not human right now. It's a 5-point game with 3:30 to go, and Kenny Atkinson calls timeout.
Once again, so what was the run that they went on, John? It wasn't a.
It was they were down 22 with 7:45 to go. They closed the game on a 30-8 run.
30-8,
and then finished up 44-11 to finish the game.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell had 29 points, but he did not score starting at with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter or something. He just stopped scoring.
Well, they stopped. I was reading about this morning because I went to sleep. I didn't see the last 8 minutes or overtime. They apparently stopped trying to get the ball to him and fired up more than their fair share of three-pointers.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to run the clock out, and they stopped moving the ball. Is what, again, John and I are giving you third-hand information, but that's apparently what happened. Is that the coach after the game was talking about, Cleveland's coach was talking about how they had not been, they just the ball stuck, and he didn't call timeouts apparently correctly, and there was a whole situation.
Jalen Brunson made every clutch shot. He finished with 38 points.
Oh, I wonder if people are going to make a big to-do about that nationally.
I know, that's...
They love that.
All right.
It really, I thought it's the first thing I thought about when I woke up this morning. I heard about the comeback. I said, "Oh, this is going to be insufferable."
Oh, first thing I read this morning, I forget from which writer it was, and he was tweeting this out in the middle of the game. The game hadn't been over yet. It said, "That plaza is not going to be big enough for the statue they're going to erect of this guy."
Well, he's not very big.
But
you don't have to build that big a statue.
know, but it's
more wide than it is tall.
But watching the highlights and seeing what Brunson did last night, if you just heard what Kenny Atkinson said, like if you read it, you would this might rub you the wrong way. But when you saw what Brunson did last night, it kind of makes sense.
They hit some really tough shots in that fourth quarter. You know, those 2 threes, prayer threes, end of shot clock. I think we got a little unlucky, quite honestly. Brunson obviously took over at the end, and we started double teaming him and try to do some different things. But listen, I'm super proud of the way our group played.
Okay, you can stop right there. But to say, oh, we got unlucky because of the way Jalen Brunson played, kind of. I mean, he was out of his mind.
But we saw that during the Celtics series last year. He never, in a clutch situation, he never turns the ball over. He always makes the shot. I mean, I don't know where you would place him. A top 5 clutch performer in the NBA right now. He is. He's going to come through for you in a game like that. He's really something.
Well, the probability of Cleveland winning at one point, according to ESPN, was 99.9%.
Yeah.
And then the game flow was at one point.
Yeah, what were the game flow stats?
Well, 97-93 game flow. I take it that's just the score of the game.
Game flow.
But they call it game flow.
Yeah.
And you can run your cursor over it, and it gives you many numbers of game flow.
That's cool.
Yeah, and in lines and numbers. So you can feel like you're gambling based on information in real time.
Donovan Mitchell, other than you not being able to, get your hands on the basketball or score for a huge chunk at the end of that game, what happened?
It was a little comfortable. We could have done some things collectively, and we did, and that's on us. But ultimately, can do nothing about it. Now we got to go out there and watch the film and fix it for game 2.
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to win the series.
Here's what I
29 points. He was a minus 13 last night.
Not great.
This is what I fear. The 2 teams that I wanted to see in the Eastern Conference Finals eliminated, and quite possibly by teams that will not show up for their next round opponent. Now, Cleveland obviously showed up because they had a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter, but could you see them now getting swept?
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
they choked.
That is completely demoralizing what happened to them last
Well,
night.
if you're going to create a definition for choking, that's it. They had a 22-point lead. They sat on it instead of being aggressive, and it cost them. Like they choked it away. They stopped doing what gave them that lead, and then they mismanaged the game and they lost. I mean, you really have to mismanage a game to lose that kind of lead. I mean, you could do the math of it, but like, what do you have to score? Like a bucket for every 3 buckets they score? I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world. It's just, I guess they just stopped. And when you stop like that and protect the lead, you choke it away. Yes, Jonathan.
It is the second largest fourth quarter comeback in NBA playoff history since they started tracking play-by-play.
Well, that was in 2023.
And
before they had game
since
flow.
1997. No, they didn't have game flow back then.
No.
And largest playoff comeback in Knicks postseason history.
All right. Okay, well, then I look forward to hearing about that forever. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. And the Celtics are no longer in the playoffs, if you didn't know. And there is talk of exciting things this offseason, and it's created a lot of debate. Giannis is looking to be traded, and Milwaukee is looking to trade him. And the Celtics, you heard Brad Stevens after the season say that they aren't good enough to compete for a championship right now, which to his credit, he seemed to have known all season. So what are they to do? Well, Hardy, Chris Mannix, who does our show from time to time, has a very strong opinion on this.
He does indeed.
Could there be a conversation about Giannis in Boston? Yes. I think there could be a conversation about him this summer. I can't say this emphatically enough. It would be insanity for the Celtics to do a deal like that. Insanity. On paper, sure. Giannis might be better than Jaylen Brown. Probably is better than Jaylen Brown. At 100%, Giannis is still one of the best two-way players in the game. But over the last couple of years, Giannis has not shown that he's healthy. He's battled soft tissue injuries over the last 2 years.
Chris Mannix going on to say that not only should they not trade for Giannis, but even if I guess he just said, even if you could make a case for him being the better two-way player than Jaylen Brown, the injuries and the soft tissue nature of them just tells you that this is not going away. And this is going to be a problem for his availability for a long time. And if you're looking at a window for the Celtics with Jason Tatum there, you don't trade away Jaylen Brown and replace him with Giannis if you want to maximize your Jason Tatum window.
And the other part of it is, not only is Giannis 3 years older than Jaylen Brown, he absolutely is a better player when he's healthy, but it's the contract that he's going to want once he gets here. After next season, he is eligible for a 4 or 5 year extension worth $200 and $300 million. I mean, I can't see the Celtics having an appetite for that. It's too much. The injury risk plus the money on the back end, and Jaylen Brown still signed for 3 more years. He's still in the prime of his career while Giannis is exiting that while injury prone. I don't like that deal either.
But what about Tatum and Brown? That doesn't work. It doesn't work. You've tried it. I do get a little tired of this narrative because it kind of gets to that, oh, you only won the one championship, which seems a little obnoxious. You made it to the finals another time with these two, and Mannix says, no, it does work.
You know that Tatum and Brown work. You know they are a championship duo. Why, oh why, would you ever consider breaking that up? Because you went out in the first round in a season that no one thought you were even going to make the playoffs in, much less look like the number two, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. There could be some calls that could take place. I would expect there will be. But if I'm the Celtics, nope, hard pass. Jaylen Brown is on my team next year.
Okay, well, the Celtics lost in the first round of the playoffs with the team that they were, if Tatum was healthy, everyone thought they would win the East. And by the way, when they won a championship, it wasn't just Tatum and Brown. They had a lot of players around them, and they were spending an assload of money that wasn't sustainable. Chad Finn has an article about why they should trade for Giannis. He's 3 months older than Kevin Garnett was when the Celtics got him. If he says that the 9-year overlap of their careers, Brown, you could make the argument that Brown was better last year, but while Brown averaged more points per game by a point, Giannis beat him in rebounds, assists, and blocks per game and turned it over less than Jaylen Brown. So even in a year where Jaylen Brown was better, Giannis beat him in almost every statistical category. And so also you're not winning a championship because you look, Brown's 29 and you lost in the first round. Brad Stevens knows this isn't about adding a couple pieces around them. This is, you got to shake things up. And and the only way you can do that is by getting rid of one of the two. And I told you, the older I get, the more I see teams I like sit on their hands, and the more I see opportunities be peed away. And then you get to the end of it and you go, well, congratulations. We had these two guys on our team for 15 years, and we won a championship early in their careers, and they never got back. I mean, we just dismissed that they lost to the Knicks last year, You dismissed that they lost in the first round this year. It's two big swings during their prime. Listen, I'll listen to your argument about not getting rid of Brown, but the idea that this, for Giannis, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that these two need to play together for the rest of their lives is fool's gold. Then if they lose in the playoffs in the first 2 rounds next year, do you go, okay, now we'll make a move and no one's available? I mean, at what point do you go, okay, well, these guys don't have it together? Brown's out making streams. He's obviously going out of his mind. Something's bugging him. I don't know if this isn't the time to make the move.
I would like to see those two guys paired up with a better big man. Neemias Queta, while a nice story, obviously was not any match for Joel Embiid. And that's stating the obvious, but it's true. A healthy Joel Embiid, a motivated Joel Embiid, Neemias Queta, and whoever else they threw in there had no chance.
Okay, so who are you going to get?
Well, that leads me to my next point. I don't know where this next big man is going to be, but I think that will be Brad Stevens' focus to find a better big man and run it back instead of making the trade for Giannis.
If you add Mitchell Robinson, who's a free agent, this is according to Chad Finn, does that make them a title? Do you think they'll win the title? Do you think they'll win the title? Do you think they'll beat Oklahoma or San Antonio?
No, I don't.
Do you think if Giannis is healthy and it's Giannis and Tatum, that there is a chance that they could beat Oklahoma City or San Antonio?
There is a chance.
All right,
there is a chance.
Just by saying those words, you are not dismissing the possibilities of that trade. Now, you, again, might not believe that it's the right thing to do, but you've just given a point in favor of making it.
This is what I fear, though, Fred. You know how we sit here and talk about all these things. Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Everyone said it's not going to work, and lo and behold, it didn't work. So many people say and think that if you get Giannis here, he's not going to be available, he's not going to be healthy, and he won't be there, as you just said. With a healthy Giannis and a healthy Jason Tatum, sure, I like their chances at beating a lot of teams. But I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's health-wise, he's going to be available.
I think you might be surprised how much Giannis plays on a good team. I wonder how much Giannis not playing last year had to do. Remember, he wanted to play, and they didn't want to play him. First of all, at the end of the season. And so, I wonder how much being on a good team, all of a sudden these soft tissue injuries become a little less unbearable for him.
However, if you look at the games played, he's not playing 75 games a year either. He's always good for taking 15 or 20 games off.
All right, fine. Big deal. So you're the number 3 seed in the East. Who cares?
But
as long as he plays in the playoffs.
I'm not saying he's not a great player. He is, but Hardy's right.
But you're acting like not playing 15 games a year is somehow a reason not to get him. Fine. Yeah, who cares? That's right, Steve. Look, sit on your hands at your own detriment. Or you listen to me and you shake things up, baby. Can't be any worse than losing the first round of Philadelphia. Anything that happens next year can't be as bad as losing the first round of Philadelphia. I'd rather not make the playoffs. At least you get a good pick.
You throw it out there like you talk about shaking things up with the Red Sox. And the Celtics are in a much better position than the Red Sox.
I don't know. They lost in the first round to Philadelphia, who lost every game to New York by 75 points, and they got swept. I can't tell you how bad it was. Terrible. They lost 2 games. Game 6 and 7 to an inferior crap team.
Fred, they took him to Game 7. What else do you want him to do?
I don't know. Win Game 6 or 7. That would be a good thing against the team,
or 5 for that matter.
Right? Exactly. Oh, that's right. I apologize, John. I forgot to throw in 5.
They could have won Game 5.
They had a broken down center comes in for Philadelphia, and then all of a sudden it screws everything up for 3 games, and they can't recover. That's not great. Embiid's not a 26-year-old Kareem, Lou Alcindor out there. I mean, Embiid's fine, but you couldn't figure out how to. That was such a wrecking ball that you couldn't recover from that.
Well, he's really tall,
right? If only we had a tall guy on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that they've traded for Porzingis that can't play, and people are very excited to get Porzingis. I'm wondering how hurt Giannis is for the next team he goes to. That's all. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Adam has something for us about the way these games are being presented to us. We will have that in just a moment.
Well, that leads me to my next point. I don't know.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the
aggravated since we turned the mics on.
I don't know what it is. I don't have time to think about that right now.
Hunter and Hardy.
It's ridiculous.
The Sports Hub.
Friend, I've become pretty good friends with him. He does the morning show on WROR. And I'll tell you, that guy opens up the refrigerator. He's got a plastic grocery bag. I don't know where he gets them. You can't get those in Newton. They don't make them no more. And he stands in front of the refrigerator shoving food in his face out of a bag.
He's got the music.
What kind of food is in the bag?
Like egg.
Oh, yeah.
And then lunch meat at one point. He was just, I told you, he's like, there's like lettuce and lunch meat and egg.
Oh, he's doing Atkins.
Something of that nature.
Yeah.
And then he goes like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Not eating. I don't stand in front of the refrigerator eating.
This shopping bag full of loose protein.
Go look. Go get up and look. Right. There's a blue plastic bag in there, and look at what treats lay in there. And he stands in front of it, and it bothers me. And then he goes, why does that bother you? I go, because you're eating out of the refrigerator.
So he leaves it out, or he's still out over there eating?
I was hoping he was over there because he would hear this, and then he'd get mad. Or he would be like, Fred.
So Hardy's in the kitchen. He's disappeared around the corner.
Yeah, so there's a blue, plastic grocery bag. They don't give those in Newton anymore, which I wish they would. I could put dog crap in it. And
they still have those where we are.
Yeah, because you guys are behind the times. You don't pay 10 cents for a brown bag like they do in Newton.
Yeah.
And so, when I'm in Tennessee, I'm like, ooh, bags.
Yeah.
Like right at checkout at Walmart.
All right, Hardy is now returning from his journey.
So he sits there, and there's like a feed bag. And he sits in front of the feed bag, and he takes the stuff out of the refrigerator with the refrigerator door open.
Yeah.
Shoved it in his mouth.
As suspected, not accurate, Fred.
Oh.
There are 3 feed bags.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And bags within the bags.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
Yes, I forgot to tell you. They're reinforced feed bags.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there's so much. I'm like, I got to get back to the show. There's too much in here to look at.
Yeah,
I mean, there were fruits, proteins. There were some grains. There's a lot of food in there.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But he stands in front of the refrigerator, and they got all day to take breaks because they play music.
Right.
So he's got time to lounge.
That's part of the problem, though. I mean, I definitely ate more when doing music radio because you've got 20 minutes at a time. You're doing nothing.
Well, BZN, we just had a little bar set up. We just cocktails. I mean, it was a whole thing. I can't believe they let us do that until they didn't. And they were smart to not let us do that. All right. Speaking of media, Adam. Since you are the one who has campaigned for this, this was brought to your attention, you find this to be of interest. John Skipper,
yes,
who's you'll hear his name. He's the thorn in McAfee's side, as McAfee overthrows society and the government with his, relationship with politicians and USA tank tops. He's a real rabble rouser, real nonconformist. And ESPN beats him up along the way. They don't let him express himself as he's a young wavy gravy here. He's burning flags and taking down the man. He's the Malcolm X of wrestling. He's really taking chances out there. Swearing on basic cable. Have you seen South Park?
Oh.
Or Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. He's just he swears on basic cable, which you're allowed to do. So I don't know where any of this. That's the big thing. So congratulations to Pat McAfee because they've censored those guys too long. He's so anti-establishment. It's unbelievable the chances he's taking with the I don't know. He could filleting every guest.
Yeah,
I guess should be against some standards.
Loves to ask a 45-second question,
which with an out at the end of it. I hate him.
Yeah, you should hate him.
I do, and not many media people do I say that about. He might be the only one that I can think of off the top of my head because I don't hate Jim Nantz. I just think he's awful. All right, go ahead.
So this is John Skipper, the former ESPN president on Pablo Torre Finds Out, and this particular.
I love Pablo.
We love Pablo. We're big fans here on the show. And he's talking to Pablo about the NFL, their relationship with the networks, their relationship with the streaming services. And there's a lot of overlap in their conversation with what we've been talking about on the show recently, last week in particular, talking about how the NFL is really diluting its product by spreading it out over multiple days of the week, by spreading it out over multiple services, by putting a focus on these international games. I think there's a lot of connective tissue between that conversation and conversations we've been having.
And just very quickly, Mark Cuban has come out and he said it doesn't matter to the streaming services, the ratings, they're inconsequential. It's about getting people to buy the service. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know, I didn't get the full context of it, but I would assume it might be his point being, watch out sports, because you're taking a cash grab from these streaming services, but they don't care about people watching it. So if you want to follow me, live advertising is a bonus for them. It's not everything, but they need live events and they need live content because that draws eyeballs in. Just a fact in industry, media. But if the leagues are giving their product to someone who doesn't care if anyone watches it in real time, they just care about people buying the opportunity to watch it, that could obviously lead to your league becoming less popular, correct? You want as many eyeballs on the product as possible for long-term growth. Now, I know these owners are all in their 80s, and they're probably not overly concerned with long-term growth. But if you had individual owners that loved the game of which they own the team in, then maybe this wouldn't be happening. But here we go. They let private equity in, and I know people in private equity that will tell you, private equity don't care if you win or lose. All right, here we go. Here's John Skipper from ESPN on our friend Pablo Torre's show.
People are talking about Goodell. Will he kill the golden goose? I do think there's a dangerous scenario here, and that is, I'm going to make an assertion I'll be interested to see. I don't know what the books look like at NBC or CBS, but everybody's losing money on their NFL deal. It's a loss leader. So what Roger is going to tempt fate with here, he's been very good at this, is the delta between how much money an NFL package brings in the door and what you pay us is going to get bigger. That's what's going to happen. CBS is not generating $2 billion worth of advertising, and their package is going to go up to $3 billion. So at some point, and Roger's pushing the deals out further because he knows the traditional media companies are only going to get less powerful and less wealthy. And he's going to make it. He's very cleverly brought gradually all the streamers in, the big tech companies, because they can afford to pay $4 billion, $5 billion. By the way, it's the exact equivalent of Adam and Roger letting the equity firms in. Silver. Because the teams are getting too expensive. Roger knows that he's getting so expensive that the tech companies are going to outbid the next round. But he should be careful. He doesn't have to be careful because it'll be the next commissioner, not him. So it's not going to be on him. Because the next commissioner is going to deal with the fact that these big tech companies have more leverage over you, and they don't need your product as much as the traditional broadcasters do.
And that's what Cuban was saying, and it's good. I mean, I haven't heard this before, but John Skipper feel good because we've discussed all these things and made the same points, is that the NFL is really, you know how you'll hear of a tech company that gets all this seed money and then they'll go public and the valuation of the company is way lower than its stock price. And then ultimately there's a great chance of those companies flaming out. It's kind of like a lottery ticket and you kind of ride it. And if it turns into Amazon or Apple, or Microsoft, you're very wealthy. But if it's, that tech bubble in the early 2000s, right? The NFL is kind of making money right now, maybe at the expense of making money later, because again, you know that the networks lose money on this. It's just the prestige of having it and bringing, people to the network. And if, as Cuban said, if streaming companies don't care about how many people are actually watching the product, how long, once they have you as a subscriber, are they willing to pay that amount of money? Now they're going to want live programming, but I can pay whoever 10 years from now Chris Rock is, $20 million for 5 specials, or I can pay the NFL $5 billion for, a package of games. I'll pay Chris Rock. I can pay Adam Sandler $20 million to make 5 movies. it would be more than that, $100 million to make 4 or 5 movies. Or again, I can pay the NFL $20 billion. It's like once I get you in the door and you've priced out everyone, how long is that price going to go up? And now you've got less people watching your product, making it less valuable. You have it scattered all over the place for ridiculous amounts of money for companies that aren't going to need it for very long. It's quite a situation they got themselves in. And the old adage I keep saying is, read sports writing from 1955, which is, in a lot of people's lifetimes. And it's horse racing, baseball, and boxing. And horse racing and boxing, no one cares about it. And baseball has become the third most popular sport, maybe second. It's gaining on the NBA.
The NFL is at this position right now because these traditional media companies cannot exist without an NFL package. If the delta gets to be billions of dollars, they will have to decide to exist without it. They'll decline faster. Cable TV will decline faster. And the only people who will be able to afford the NFL's packages will be great, big, trillion-dollar market cap companies. But they are also tough, mean companies.
Oh, yeah.
Netflix negotiated with us over the per diem cost of our production crew on an inexpensive documentary. They will not. They're going to look, Roger, whoever is the next commissioner is going to be sitting across the table with somebody's going to go, if I don't have your rights, I'm okay because I'm still going to sell a ton of Apple phones. And if I don't have the NFL, I'll be okay.
Yeah, so the tech companies aren't reliant entirely on their streaming services.
Which is, Fred, you bring up like what it was like in the 50s. And it's, and it was baseball, boxing, horse racing. And there's two things happening. Obviously, the interest in certain sports changes, but why does it change? How does it change? And I think some of it has to do with the medium that they're consumed on. With horse racing and baseball, I would say specifically, these are things that you can read about. Mm-hmm. These are things that you can consume huge amount and be entertained by just by reading about them in the newspaper in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, right?
Right.
So as things have shifted, obviously, more to the first to the radio and now to the TV. Well, the TV product. Okay. The thing with these streaming companies, and Hulu's the best example I can give you from the discussions I've had with my wife about, all these different things that she is now, selling and competing against in some ways. The actual viewership numbers of some of these platforms are incredibly low, which is why you see if you're watching certain channels on certain platforms, Roku, Hulu, things like that, you'll see the same Liberty Mutual ad over. You'll see it in every stop set. You see it when you're watching games on Amazon right now. You just see ads for Amazon, right? Because they can't get traditional advertisers on there because there's just not enough eyeballs on them. And that signals another change in the way these things are being consumed now. We're so spread out over the things that we're watching and consuming them in different ways. That, as much as anything, is going to lead to a shift in what we're paying attention to. You don't have to have the network to sit there and watch a 3.5-hour football game anymore, but maybe more concerning the NFL, people aren't interested in sitting down and watching a 3.5-hour football game. The way we consume things and the technology that we gravitate toward, when that changes, the sports that are most popular will also change. It's happened before. I think it's happening again.
Well, and then my concern would be for the long-term health, if they care about the product, would be getting young people in the habit of watching it.
Yes.
Which means to make it available.
Yes.
And if they don't watch it, then they're not going to be fans. And again, in college, I didn't consume any media. It wasn't a conscious decision. I wasn't Danny Elfman pretending to live in the 20s. I just we didn't have cable in our fraternity or dorms. And I, was getting up at 11 o'clock in the morning and I just wasn't doing that kind of stuff. So I can imagine if you're 25 years old and, they go, oh, the Miami, Buffalo game is on Peacock. that you're going to go, great. And what are you going to go buy Peacock? No, you're going to go do something else.
Right.
But if it was on TV, there's a chance that you might go, turn on, channel 4, the game's on. And I understand everyone streams now, and I understand all those things. It's just that, are you going to actively, in your 20s, go buy a streaming service to watch one game? No. I wouldn't have. I would have. It wouldn't have even maybe been the money, which would have been cost prohibitive for me because I didn't make any money. But it would have been also, I'm not going to deal with it. Now I got to go deal with this. I know, it takes 2 seconds. I know. But in my 20s, I didn't want to spend 2 seconds doing anything. I had my mind could easily be convinced to go do something else. Yes, John.
Is there a way, because, Hardy, you're absolutely right, things are so spread out and the game doesn't scream, watch me. There are endless replays. The game is taking longer than it's ever taken before. And in order to make sure, for the NFL to make sure that people will buy Peacock for one game or two games, would there ever be a time where Roger Goodell or the next commissioner entertain streamlining the game, much like baseball had to do to get younger viewers to watch? There are more younger viewers watching baseball games now because they don't take as long.
Well, also,
and they're more entertaining because of that.
And also, baseball is by far the most savvy with the MLB.com and the MLB app. I mean, the MLB app is unbelievable, and it has been for a very long time.
For years,
I'll give you an example. From the car until I walked into the studio, I watched the Cardinal game. From the car until I got into the studio, when I walked in and I saw you guys, they were finishing up the game. I watched the game in 5 minutes. The Cardinal 10-inning game I watched in 5 minutes.
More
on
people,
the way in here.
But more people were not aware of that until recently because more people are interested in baseball now than there were 5 years ago.
What I'm saying, Jonathan, is that you're right in that what the point might be, though, is that baseball got ahead of all of this with how great their technology is. And they licensed, by the way, their product to like John Boy Media and all this stuff. They were very smart. They gave people the opportunity to use their content in other ways, and now kids are watching it.
The time is coming for the National Football League to change the way it does business.
Well, yeah, they would be smart to do. Well, if you want my opinion, they would be, which you're going to get, is they would just have a flat NFL package available, and you through the NFL, and it was NFL.com, and it was the NFL app, and you paid $300. And you just like the what they have now, or you paid $300 for the, but you're getting less and less games on the package. But if they had NFL.com, the NFL app, and they own the app, and you had access to to every game, then maybe. But spreading it out all over the place and chasing these billions of dollars is great right now, but in the long run is not so great for the product. All right, Bill Belichick is wonderful for every product. He was on Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity really gave it to him, really stuck it to him. I mean, Hannity.
He's really letting him have it.
Yeah, there was no spin. Even he was taking he went O'Reilly on him for a second. There was no spin. So if you want to hear Bill Belichick randomly being on Sean Hannity, who we've successfully pranked as Al Pacino, and he thought it was Al Pacino. We got to his cell phone. Through many barriers with Craig Gass, which I really wish I had the audio of, because I'm not even on it, but I can't find it. But here is Sean Hannity and Bill Belichick coming up in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and
Calling Dr. Franke before going under the knife. Skip the long recovery time and heal your joint at bostonprolotherapy.com.
Is it a stroke? Even if you're not one side, arm weakness, speech difficulty, or not making sense when talking. Time is critical. A stroke requires immediate medical care, which starts as soon as the ambulance arrives. So if you see any sign of stroke, act fast and call 911. Visit mass.gov/stroke, sponsored by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health.
It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy mornings.
But I said, Adam, I said, do I have it? And he goes, I think so. And then he turns to Ryan, and Ryan's slow, low-key reaction. It's like he looks, he stretches.
Yeah, he's at the stretch. But when he moves, he's quick.
Well, he can't help that. He's lithe.
He doesn't have a quick first step.
No, he's not an athlete.
But before you know it, he's there.
But he's lithe. He's quick on his feet. He's very light on his feet. But no, he's not an athlete. He's more of an endurance efficient machine.
He was
an animal.
That's right, TT boy and Peter North.
He was an accomplished middle distance runner.
No, I could see that in his frame and his mannerisms. He doesn't waste energy.
He's a good golfer, too.
All right.
No.
Well, let's not go crazy with the athlete stuff. I'm giving him some credit for being like a lithe. That's the correct term, right?
I don't know, but I like it. I like
do
the
too.
word.
I like saying it.
Yeah,
So I've
that's the
said
right
it a
word.
few times
Yeah.
now. But he's light on his feet, but he's in no hurry. It doesn't bother me when he does it, though.
Thin.
Nicholas, it bothers me.
The
Nicholas drives me nuts.
Lithe is described as thin, supple, and graceful in movement or flexible in form.
That's beaten.
That's beaten in a nutshell. But Adam will go, like he'll hear me because I can talk to Adam through his headphones. And he'll tell Ryan, and then Ryan give him a little stretch, a little second take. Then he'll get up. But I had it all along. What do you know? All right. Bill Belichick is on doing TV for some reason. We played him on Part of My Take where they didn't ask him about Jordan.
Well, because he wouldn't answer, so you don't ask.
Yeah, I don't really get that. I would still ask. It's even funnier if you ask him and he won't answer. It's just blah, 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 blah. That's wherein the fun lies. I mean, just letting him sit there and play with himself, that's no fun. But he did Hannity because Hannity and him butt heads. They go at it. Obviously, Belichick is a extremely progressive guy, almost radical.
Yeah.
Antifa has been linked to him on several occasions. And then there's Hannity, who stands for everything that's good in this. Why aren't teens having kids? Which is a real talking point from some religious groups. I'm not joking. The teen birth rate is too low. Is a real talking point. That is not a lie. You can research it yourself. There are religious organizations complaining that teens are not having enough children, which is a bit of a head scratcher. But nonetheless, I just thought that was interesting.
Well,
That's my own life. I just find that interesting.
It was like that when your mom was a teenager. You know, there weren't any teens giving birth, except for her, sister, was it?
Again, my mother insisted while they were here that people didn't have sex as teens when she was a kid, and I reminded her that her sister got married at 16.
And immediately started producing children.
And has a daughter that's like the same age as my mom. My cousin Suzanne, who has sort of outlived many of her siblings, is my mom's age. So it was just one of those conversations you have with your parents where they're just willfully ignorant. It just, no, Freddie. Like, people my age didn't have kids. Aunt Betty had a kid at 16. No, she didn't. She was married at 16. Oh! So she got pregnant at 16 and had the kid at 17. Fair play, Mom.
Yeah.
Well done. Point taken. And then why does that bother you? Because it's aggravating after a while. It just gets aggravating. Now, that wasn't an argument. I was like sincerely laughing and having a good time with that. But you stack 9 or 10 of those on top of each other, and you got yourself a pretty annoying situation. I love my parents very dearly. Being at their house, much better than them being at my house. All right, anyway, so here's Belichick on Hannity. He really sticks it to him. You watch him squirm in the hot seat.
Like CBS, I was stunned at how horribly you were treated. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, this traditional trash media.
My God.
I mean, you poor thing, you sweet, sweet victim. Oh, you fragile little egg. Oh, CBS really let you. They did it. Ooh. This is the double standard just with everyone sucks. Like, you're too nice, you're too mean, you're too nice. It just all depends on who you like. Just have one effing point of view and stick to it, regardless of who it affects. Is that so difficult to do?
How poorly was he treated? Did they bring out his first wife? And, did they parade people out like the Jerry Springer show? No, they dared to ask him about his relationship with a woman who was sitting right there.
I don't know why someone can't just go like, "Hey, the interview. Every interviewer sucks," and then you just stick to it. But it just flip flops based on who's being interviewed or who's doing the interviewing. It drives me crazy, the double standard on things. Like, well, the FCC is too tough until the FCC is going after someone you don't like, and then the FCC is right. How about you just don't like the FCC getting involved at all, regardless of who it is? How difficult is it to have that's a point of view. That's a belief. It doesn't waver. Why can't people be funny anymore until someone dies, and then now no one can be funny? It's just jokes are jokes. There, I did it. There. That's it. Okay? Or every joke is offensive. There. You have two sides. Take one of those. Don't flip-flop based on who it is. Like if I went, Saturday Night Live, they're going too far with Hegseth with the alcohol thing. What the hell what a hypocrite. It's like, stop it. Things are, there's an ability to lampoon things whether you like it or not, and or you can't do it at all. That's it. Two sides. God, Jesus, does that bother me about the world?
Okay.
It really does.
All right, let's get back.
Because I'm right and they're wrong.
Yeah, all right.
Like CBS, I was stunned at how horribly you were treated. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it either.
I was stunned.
Oh, you pussy.
I hope you sue him.
Oh, Jesus
Come
Christ,
on.
these guys. Oh, my God. Oh, get out of here. Oh, he sucks. The two of them wallowing in it. Oh, such victims. Oh, poor thing. F you.
I hope you sue him.
Yeah, I hope that Ted Johnson sues you for having him play with a concussion. Big sweetheart. I hope all your ex lovers sue you for your Nantucket house. Get out of here. Such a victim.
Well, as we've seen recently, there have been more editing problems, and they go back to over a couple of years, multiple examples of editing and interview process and all that. I thought that the interview I had with them was done very deceptively, and I've asked for the transcript from them, and they won't give it to me. They've done that with others. I'm not really sure what that policy is.
You can have the transcript. I'll give it to you.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's a real good interview, too. This is just captivating stuff.
Cut it out.
Well, go ahead. I didn't let you finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't let you finish.
So, kind of confused about some of the things that they say they are, but I don't really see them living up to the trust that they talk about.
Yeah, good stuff. They should have not edited the interview. They should have kept it like that with all your humming and hawing and pauses. That's what they should have done. And your lack of any kind of backbone.
Well,
you poor thing. You
lack of any
pussy.
Lack of any personality. Maybe the reason why you come across poorly in interviews is not because it's not because of the editing. It's not because it was gotcha journalism or anything else. Maybe because the success of an interview is largely based on the subject and the personality of the subject. And his personality sucks. No. So for the same reason I've said, Belichick, he could be a great, on-air analyst. Oh, like an on-air personality? Well, what if you have a crappy personality? What if people just inherently don't like you and the way you present yourself and the way you say things? Then, yeah, I'm going to put my hand up and say, no, I don't think he'd make a great television personality. And same goes for as an interview subject. He's just not a likable guy. Has nothing to do with his coaching acumen or anything else. But when it comes to you coming across poorly in an interview, it's not some litigious situation where you need to go after CBS or anyone else. It's really just a case of you suck as a person, and if you come off poorly in an interview, that's because you're not a likable guy.
Yeah, how would you have liked them to edit your interview to make you look better? Is that
You
possible?
So, and it's interesting because he's one of these guys that's real good at one thing, but then he has this false sense of entitlement and superiority, which is he's stupid in everything else. This is why he acts this way. It's because deep down he knows he's an idiot that just has devoted his life to studying football. And then he gets in these interviews and he can't articulate himself. That's a situation where there's a guy laying it up, and this moron can't put together two sentences. I'm not joking. He's an idiot. Answer the question. He just told you, CBS, you're such a victim. They came after you. You should sue them. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, like they're not great at editing. They've been doing it a lot. These mainstream media companies are a sham. It's BS. I've asked for the transcript and they won't give it to me. We'll see what happens. There you go. But instead, for a minute, you hemmed and hawed, you uninteresting prick.
Well,
so you can have the transcript. I'll give it to you.
If you would like, we had Mark send along something. You remember yesterday we had the audio of Bill Belichick on Pardon My Take. He might have farted.
Oh.
So Ryan can give you that audio for the next segment if you would like to explore that.
Sure. I would like to hear if he farted.
Okay.
All right. So, well, then
Beaton's real quick in here now.
Yeah, he knows where the gold lies. Beaton's uncovered himself a nugget of gold.
That was cat-like quickness by Beaton.
He was sifting through the river stream, and he found himself a gold nugget. All right. Well,
he came out of the blocks on that one.
Wow. Now, he showed a quick first step on that one. He's showing some improved agility. All right. We'll be right back. Here are the headlines. So much for this country.
Dutcher and Hardy.
I guess this country's a bunch of buffoons that don't know the rules.
You idiot. The Sports Up.
All right, this is very exciting stuff. Belichick has done 2 interviews recently, the hard hitter on Hannity, and then he did Part of My Take. And Part of My Take is a long-form podcast. I imagine he was on it for like an hour or something.
Yeah, a couple hours, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so he sat down with him for a couple hours. And, you know, when you're older, if you've ever gotten your hair cut by an older gentleman, sometimes they just fart while cutting your hair and they don't even know it. Everything's gotten very loose down there, the bowel, the rectum. It can take a toll. So for 2 hours, you're asking the guy not to break wind. We've learned from the University of Maryland study that there is a person out there that wore the fart monitor that farted 170 times a day.
Oh, we need to talk about that after the show today. We can get that gentleman on the show next week.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Zoltan.
possibly get a monitor for Nicholas to wear.
Oh, so the guy from University of Maryland would like to publicize his study.
Yes.
That's to our great benefit.
Indeed.
We could find out how much a sickly Nicholas farts a day.
But this was sent along from Mark, who
Are they
listens to the
are they
whole-
special heart farts? Sickly heart pacemaker.
Do you hear the clicking of the valve when it happens?
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll be privy to all this information should Nicholas agree to do it. HIPAA law violations would abound if he does not.
Yeah.
But if Nicholas agrees to wear the fart monitor, I mean, it's science. I mean, there's so many things we'll find out. I can't wait.
I would like to smell one of them farts in person, if I could. If it wouldn't be too much to ask.
Is the baby farting yet?
It made a...
Let him fart on his grandfather. Is that a baby or is that you?
So nonetheless, did Bill Belichick fart? We don't do this very often.
Sulfur boy.
Oh, your tummy. I remember your tummy would hurt. And then you go...
Ah.
Every time I hear the wind blow, I go, Nicholas. That's silent.
All right. Did Bill Belichick fart? It's on everyone's mind. Chances are he did. This is only 13 seconds, so I'm buying a little time, but here we go.
Practice is harder than the games. So our thing is, if you can do it in practice and do it consistently in practice, we're going to make it harder than the game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a 40-second clock, we have a 35-second clock.
Oh! Whoa!
Oh, wow. Well, someone farted. I mean, that's without a
Goodness.
doubt. That I don't think it's Belichick, unfortunately. Too much behind it, too. He's too old.
It's too far in the background.
In his relationship, I can't be sure that that's not being used for other things. So it was too tight. But someone farted, that's for sure. And someone farted on purpose, almost like on a dare, because that one was not a seeper. Here we go. I will play it again
play
for
it
you
again.
with full context. You'll see it's not Belichick. There's no way.
Well, I haven't made that determination.
No, I
yet.
said you'll see when I replay it. You'll hear that it's definitely not him.
Practice is harder than the games. So our thing is, if you can do it in practice and do it consistently in practice, we're going to make it harder than the game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a 40-second clock, we have a 35-second clock.
Yeah, there's no way that's him.
It's an odd part of his speech delivery. If it were right after he had taken a breath, I'd be more inclined to believe it was Belichick.
Oh no, I got to be straight with you. I would love if it was Belichick, but I can't pretend it is.
Too far away.
No, it's too far away.
Too far
He's
away.
in the middle of talking. There's no way it's him.
I mean, it's too far away.
The microphone is pinned to his chest.
That's
would
right.
think
You fart out of your chest,
No,
Wallach?
the fart where the fart comes out is close enough to the microphone. It would make a far bigger noise.
Oh, I didn't know you were such an expert. When
Oh,
it
he
comes
really
to
I
is
this.
an
want you to know I'm an
sounds.
We did it a
approved
lot.
judge
Lav
of a
mics.
previous court, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
mean, we were started to do fart court 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm an expert in such matters, sir.
We heard a lot of these. But I got to tell you, it's not Belichick, but it's almost what I would be interesting if you could get someone from the podcast on to say if they had a bet with each other if someone could fart audibly during the interview, because it's an insistent fart, if that makes sense.
To the 40-second clock, we have a 30 second clock. We have a 30 clock.
And then you
I hope
descend
you
into
saw.
madness. It's a descent into madness to try to figure out who it is.
Instead of a 40-second clock, we have a 35-second clock.
Yeah, someone pushed a fart out. And he didn't even laugh. He has zero personality. If you hear someone fart, he should have stopped himself and said, "Oh my." Someone step on a duck? Did the old Rodney Dangerfield line.
That's right.
All right. Well,
I was stunned.
You got to, as I just said, you got to play it both ways. You can't just based on who you think farted or who you wanted to fart, change your opinion on the farts. That you got to play it down the line. That was not Bill Belichick, but good call, Ryan. Someone did indeed break wind. That's unequivocally true. And it almost seems like someone did it on purpose.
I couldn't believe it.
Like maybe someone was bored with the interview. I'm being serious. Maybe someone was bored with the interview and they started giggling like with someone next to him and was like, "I'm gonna fart." Like, couldn't you see that? Like two people like aren't into it because like Belichick's super boring.
Yeah. You got a couple of production assistants. Like these guys both suck. Here, I'm gonna cut one.
Yeah, like
Do
I
it,
got
do
a
it.
fart. And the guy's like, "Go ahead, go ahead,
Yeah,
go
do
ahead."
it.
And he's
Instead of a 40-second clock, we have a 35.
and then they both go like and like have to turn around. That'd be fun. I just invented something fun. Like two guys are having a blast. No pun intended. All right. Listen, I just mentioned some guy cutting your hair. It was maybe subconscious because Hardy's. We've had Hardy's Hardy's barber on once before. He's an opinionated fella. His name is Abdo. So Abdo. The World Cup is coming. So what do we know about the World Cup? The answer is nothing. But Abdo knows about the World Cup, and he's got a lot to say. So we'll find out what Hardy's barber has to say about the World Cup in just a moment.
Stay tuned for Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox beat the Royals in Kansas City for a second straight night last night, 7-1. Jarren Duran hit a 3-run homer. He scored a pair of runs and added a couple of really nice plays in the outfield to lead the Sox to the win.
Wilson said, defense is something we can control. We can always be in the right spots and make the plays for our pitchers and help back them up. We haven't been scoring a lot of runs for them, but we can always get their back on defense, and that's something we hold our hat on.
They'll pitch Connolly early tonight as they go for a 3-game sweep. At Madison Square Garden last night, the Knicks beat Cleveland 115-104 in Game 1 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavaliers blew a 22-point lead with under 8 minutes left. Jalen Brunson scored 38 points for the winners. The Dallas Mavericks announced that with 4 years still to go on his contract, Jason Kidd won't be back as the head coach next season. The Bruins' Charlie McAvoy will officially sit the first 6 games of the next NHL season. He has reportedly decided not to appeal a suspension, and Las Vegas visits Colorado tonight for Game 1 of the NHL's Western Conference Finals. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Kids eat free the day after the Red Sox win. Get a free kids meal with every adult entree purchased. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Are you actually coaching the game, or it's just that is? I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports Hub.
My buddy
With friends like these,
to climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Dutcher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. It's interesting. I read the Boston Globe and I look up at the TVs where we have local news on with no sound, and I see people are up in arms about various things about the World Cup, and then I take great solace in knowing that none of it bothers me or affects me in any way. They're closing streets I'm never on. They're talking about trains I never ride. They're talking about an event I'll never go to. So it's always nice to be above the fray. Or below the fray, or whatever I am, wherever I stand.
Apart from the fray.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm going to the World Cup. It's far too expensive. I don't like going to Gillette for anything, and let alone something I don't care about that costs a lot of money. And if I was given tickets, I would most certainly sell them. If they're going for that much money, believe me, I could use a little. I got alimony and child support. I need cashola, baby.
You know, a little float till payday? What do you need?
Oh, don't make Daddy work for it. All right, so now that you're talking about money, what you willing to do? Make like a lady. All right, so look, John will pretend while it's going on, but really he has no stake in the World Cup. But who does? And
well,
that's when you have to go. Look.
You would think that people of an international mindset and people who are soccer fans already would be completely invested in this, and that's why I asked my good friend Abdo, the barber I've been going to for years now. As I was sitting there getting my hair cut the other day, I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to give ourselves something with a 12. My board.
You're up.
Something with a little bit of an international flair to it, and somebody who is invested in this, someone who knows not only about the sport, but about the teams and the countries from which they come. Abdo, obviously, world traveler, somebody who can get us maybe a little more excited for this World Cup through not only information, but his passion.
All right.
This is my conversation with Abdo, who will hopefully be providing us with multiple World Cup previews.
I would like that. All right, here we go.
First of all, is it okay if we use this for the radio?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. All right. And what is your name, please?
This is Abdo.
Abdo, and where are we right now?
We're in a barbershop in Gloucester Street.
Anfa Barbershop.
Anfa Barbershop, Gloucester Street.
So you go into the city to get your hair cut.
He used to have a shop in Dedham, and that's where I first met him. And that shop closed, and he made it very clear I was not allowed to get my hair cut by anyone else.
Well, you see what happens especially if you let his son do it. They'll find the mailman will go in and screw everything up.
That's right.
It's a Seinfeld reference if you don't know. Hardy and I talk in Seinfeld often. I could see it being annoying if you're unfamiliar. All right. So you
about every 6 weeks or so, I
haul it into the city and
What a
find parking.
pain in the ass.
Well, this past day I did do that, and I went and parked on Newbury Street. But most days I take the train in on a weekend. I'll go in on a Saturday or even a Sunday.
All right, so Hardy wears a hat in here, so you can't.
I know.
Apparently, it's a magical haircut that
Yeah.
he gets, but he's very loyal. You got to hand it to him. All right.
Okay, and we're here to talk about the World Cup today. Now, Abdo, where are you from originally?
I'm from Morocco.
Morocco is one of the teams playing at Gillette Stadium, correct?
Yes, it is.
Are you a soccer fan?
I am. Big one.
You'll be going to the game at Gillette Stadium.
Absolutely not.
What? This doesn't make any sense to me. Why not?
First of all, I cannot afford paying for $1,000 tickets.
$1,000. Good luck.
Yeah.
$1,000 low end. I'm hearing like $5,000. Not easy.
And then also, I heard about the traffic will be jammed, it will be bad. So I'm not willing to do that at all. So I'm gonna watch from a big TV here in my shop.
Abdo.
Okay, so you live in Morocco, right? And you take the money to fly to the United States. This is maybe your first trip ever to the United States. And you hear Boston. Wow, like this is where the original Pilgrims settled. You get very excited. Yes. The history, the culture of the town. And you arrive and you get downtown and you go, oh, this is fantastic. I've always wondered what it was like here. And look at these old streets, not compared to Morocco, but, you know, these cobblestone streets. And then you go, where's the game? And they go, oh,
you're
far.
Nowhere near the game.
Yeah. A city that's got it's got a hotel.
and a Red Robin.
Would you like to go to some invisible country artist's chain restaurant? Because it's available for you. Look, there's a Bass Pro Shops that's pretty cool.
You'll enjoy Davio's.
Yeah, good luck getting home. But, the train runs, and good luck getting on it. It's going to make whatever transit system they had in Morocco when the Stones were recording there look like the whatever, it's Sella. I can't think of anything.
Abdo, you're a successful businessman. How can it be that you can't afford a ticket?
I mean, listen, I'm not saying I cannot afford it. It just it seems like it's a waste of money. So why? What? Anyway,
this is your national team. This is your team.
No, but if they go the knockout, maybe if they make it to maybe the semifinal or maybe the final, yes. But I'm going to the first game. I doubt it.
Okay, now what about some of these other teams that Morocco is playing? What are your feelings about Scotland?
But why was you told me about it? You spent a lot of time, you played golf over there. So I learned from you. You told me Scotland, there's a good place. They serve a lot of tea. And then that's what I know it was. They have tea.
Yeah, so Hardy's bored him with his stories of playing golf in Scotland. Abdo is going through like his litany of countries that he's visited and the experiences he had. And Hardy goes, well, I played golf in Scotland.
Except I haven't.
Oh.
What else?
I've never played golf in Scotland. I never told you that.
Does that mean you lied to me?
No, I didn't lie to you.
Maybe. So anyway.
Maybe you lied.
He thought of golf in Scotland and golf in you, and he free associated it into you playing golf in Scotland.
Right.
Okay, all right, what about Haiti?
Haiti? So Haiti, they may not even have 11 players. They may have only 2. I don't think they can afford having 11 players. That's going to be so ridiculous. They may have not even a coach. So you know who we're going to beat the most?
No.
Brazil.
Wait, Haiti has a team?
Haiti is one of the teams.
Haiti has a team, sure.
Yeah.
Imagine if the United States lost to Haiti. Haiti's got like 100 people.
If you take a look at all the teams ranked in the top 10 in the world, I don't have them in front of me. All of those countries are smaller than the United States.
Did you ever see the no reservations where he's in Haiti and they like eat at this street thing and then they have extra food? So to be nice, they like leave the extra food out and people start like fighting each other over it, like for real fighting over food, leftover food. Like Haiti's like a big problem. And then, but they can field the World Cup team, and then they come and they beat the United States.
Mm-hmm. But I don't
declining United States.
I don't think Abdo is like he's exaggerating a little bit. But weren't they the ones that had the problem with the visa issues and the passports? for like the last international tournament that was held here. It's like they couldn't get the team here.
Well, I mean, the infrastructure of that country doesn't seem to be overly. That's why I was so surprised that Haiti has fielded a World Cup team that qualified for the tournament. Because I know the United States, it wasn't a sure thing if they didn't host it, correct?
They're no. No.
You've got how many hundreds of millions of people running around here with all this money and all this access to training and PT and medical. And
from what I'm reading, even though they qualified for it, not qualified, even though they are in the tournament, they'll be lucky to make it out of their group to the knockout round.
Oh, God, I hope they do.
You mean Haiti, John, or the U.S.?
No, the U.S. The U.S.
You'd say the same for Haiti.
Well, you would think, it doesn't seem like a big place, I should say. It seems very poor. 12 million people. How many people are in the United States?
260 million. I'm underselling it a little?
U.S. 400.
400? Okay.
Yeah. All right, so 12 million people versus 400 million people.
I know.
Brazil, we're going to crush them. We're going to crush them so bad. They're more fanatics about soccer. But Moroccan, they're crazy too. I'm worried about we might have a fight here between the...
They're going to fart?
Whoa! What was this, the last segment?
Yeah.
But Moroccan, they're crazy too. I'm worried about we might have a fight here between the fans. I don't know if we beat Brazil.
Oh, an old-fashioned fart off. A pull my finger duel. Scott will be representing the United States.
Well, we got a chance.
Yeah. That'd be funny if they had an international fart off in the parking lot. Whoever can pull each other's finger the hardest.
We're going to crush them.
NPR, the time is 8:14.
But Moroccan, they're crazy too. I'm worried about we might have a fight here between the fans. I don't know. If we beat Brazil, I think the Brazilians, they can attack us.
Who would win in a street fight of Moroccans of Morocco?
What is happening?
This is all happening in his place of business. Are there other
While
people?
he's cutting my hair, you can hear the scissors snipping as he's cutting my hair.
He's a man of passion. Hardy had all his hair before. Before
now I understand why it's so expensive.
Who would win in a street fight of Moroccans of Moroccans versus Brazilians? No, what, we? Do you mean Moroccans?
Yes.
No, is he often doing that?
We.
Who would win? Wee! That's like how the guy from Tragically Hip looks like he would sound.
Did the little piggy cry wee, wee, wee all the way home?
Yes!
You're home.
He's hitting that high register.
You don't know that?
No, I don't. That's why I asked.
Brother, come on. We don't have that baseball bats. I don't know. We're going to crush them, man. We're going to beat them in the stadium, or we're going to beat them here in the street.
What is the preferred fighting method of Moroccans?
We're going to yell and scream, and they're going to run away. That's it. They're going to get scared.
Now, Abdo, please forgive my ignorance, but as a language, Moroccans speak what?
They speak in just a series of wahs. You got him eating out of the palm of your hand. You got him all revved up.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't want to put me in the cage and then listen. Morocco, they speak everything.
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know.
He doesn't want to commit to a language.
Right. Don't put him in a cage.
Yeah.
Don't put him in a cage with a language.
Yeah. These barriers of language and expressing yourself. Just let's use high pitched noises.
Yes.
We'll just speak in a series of high pitched squeals.
Listen, Morocco, they speak everything. They speak English. They speak Arabic. They speak Spanish. Well, we're fluent in French. In French, man.
If you were to encounter someone from Morocco on the street here visiting for the World Cup and you wanted to say something nice to them, what would you say to somebody from Morocco in a language they would understand?
In Arabic?
Sure, yeah, in Arabic.
What's their Cohen?
What? Leonard Cohen? Jeez. Hallelujah.
Well, we're fluent in French. Yes.
Sure, yeah, in Arabic.
What's that?
Can you tell me what that means?
English?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no, but you're going to be fired. I'm worried about your job.
What would you say if you wanted to make someone from Morocco angry?
Angry? والقحبة.
And what does that mean?
In France, fils de pute.
And what does that mean?
Mother.
Very good. Okay, so
see, I told you 3 languages in the same time.
Yeah.
Fils de pute, والقحبة, mother. Nobody can say that. Be careful with me.
All right. So there is a woman in the background that you hear. What's she doing during all of this?
Mostly, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't say that.
So she's like the lady on the show.
That's right.
Well, we're fluent in French. Yes.
Now, are there other people getting their hair cut?
No.
How many barber chairs are there?
Well, there's 2 or 3, but Abdo, he's had other people in his shop before. Tends to be better run as a one-man operation.
Oh, so other people have rented chairs and then they've quickly let it run out.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know that. First of all, he has people who have been coming to see him for years and years and years.
Right.
There are people literally travel from all over New England. They just like the way he cuts hair. But he's a tough act to follow. Put it that way.
Okay. So if you want to go in and not experience Abdo, even though you're in another chair, you would experience Abdo
You
regardless.
would experience the Abdo, and I think if you're cutting hair next to Abdo, you're going to feel inferior.
Yes.
And now, does he serve any kind of beverages? Is there
There's just waters and coffees and stuff if you want.
But it's not one of these ones with beer.
No.
Now, does he have a waiting area with magazines, perhaps Playboys?
Well, I mean, it's a small shop. I mean, like most things, in that neighborhood, it's not a lot, but there's a place where you can sit and look at the magazines.
Are there Playboys, is what I'm asking?
No, there are no Playboys.
Because in Brighton, there was that barber shop where they had Miller High Life and Playboys and Hustlers and stuff. Like if you walked in there, apparently you do get greeted with a nice Hustler, and you could sit there and thumb through that while you're drinking those like little Mick High Life.
He keeps things on the up and up. You don't go into Abdo's shop and mess around.
Be careful with me.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. So how long were you in there for?
About 45 minutes. He was waiting for me when I came in. The next appointment wasn't there yet, and you got to set aside some time because it's the conversation to go in for. We both say it. It's like this isn't about the haircut. This is about us visiting and being able to talk.
Yeah. So you've been following along his life for several years now.
I've been going to him for a while.
How's Abdo? Has it been peaks and valleys for Abdo? Or
like all of us, sure.
Yeah.
But he's in a very good place right now.
Well, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, Hardy, that's good. I've learned a lot. Morocco, Brazil, and party. All right.
Magic Kingdom outfit of the day.
Oh, don't do that.
No.
No. They'll organize. All right. It's very good. Jay King will join us as the offseason rumors swell about the Boston Celtics. We will get his opinion on everything that's happening in just a moment.
Yes.
More Toucher and Hardy.
Toucher and Hardy. Jay King, he covers the Celtics for The Athletic. He's kind enough to join us. Hello, Jay.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I like that.
Brought the sexy with
The
it.
quiet storm.
Like the Jay King morning voice.
Woo.
Yes. Jay, there's a lot of debate right now about the possibility in bringing Giannis in. And it's intriguing because it would be, in theory, a swap of two star players, which, isn't very often, doesn't happen very often, and certainly would shake things up. Where do you think Giannis, the injuries are a major concern? Do you think that playing in Milwaukee for the last couple of years maybe has led to him not playing as much as maybe he would have with a more competitive team? Where do you stand on that?
See, I think they are a concern. His age is a concern. The way that he plays, like he deals with the most physicality, dishes out the most physicality probably of any player in the entire league. And so if you lose some of your athleticism at that age, if you're dealing with injuries at that age, and you don't have a jumper to fall back on, I honestly don't know how he'll age. And I don't think like just being in a different situation would make him on the floor all the time. He's missed a lot of playoff games. It's come down to the playoffs and he hasn't been there. So there's a lot to it. That said, he's still one of the 3 to 5 best players in the league when he's available. And the upside with Giannis on the Celtics would be as high as it gets. I also think teams have to start planning for the reality that Victor Wembanyama is going to be a problem for everybody, the biggest problem for everybody for a long time to come. And you're going to need guys to combat Victor Wembanyama if you want a chance to win a championship. And Giannis is maybe the only guy like semi-built to do that. So there's a lot that will go into the decision on whether to pursue Giannis heavily, how heavily to pursue him. But there are a lot of factors there. And I don't think it would be an easy decision.
All right. So Wembanyama, after this double overtime win in game 1 for San Antonio, I've heard big pronouncements like this is an era-defining performance in that I heard Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, that people whose physicality changed the way a sport is played. With the size of Wembanyama, the shooting ability from range, the smoothness, the ball handling skills, is this like a redefinition of how basketball will be played that we're watching right now?
I don't know if it's a redefinition because he's the only one who does it.
Right. But like the 4-minute mile or like when the swimming records and stuff, it seems like 100-mile-an-hour fastball, like when things look, when I was a kid, Bob Tewksbury threw 82. Now you won't find a kid in high school throwing 82. So, it's just like physical traits seem to be defined by, once, like when Tiger came out, the way he was hitting the ball, now that's just kind of common. It seems that once things are achieved, they can be mirrored. It just seems to be that way with people. Do you see Wembanyama becoming such a that this is the just go ahead. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand. I just don't think there will ever be enough 7'5" guys or close to 7'5" guys with that type of fluidity, mobility. Like, he's just one of one. And I don't see a wave of 7'5" guys like that, or even 7'1", 7'2" guys like that. He's just as unique as it gets. The game the other night reminded me of LeBron James's 25 straight points against Detroit Pistons. I forget what year it was.
That's the best performance I've ever seen.
It was early in LeBron's tenure, and he hadn't had a coming out party yet to that extent. And he was going up against the best defense in the league, and there was absolutely nothing they could do. And that's what I felt like with Wembanyama. I don't know if they'll win a title this year. I don't know if they'll beat the Thunder this year. But he's coming, and he's going to be there for a long time, and that whatever's in front of him in his career is going to be all time as long as he stays healthy. Like that's what I felt like. It was LeBron James's 25 straight all over again. Like, what is the league going to do with this guy? And for LeBron, it actually ended up taking years before he won a title. Like his journey wasn't straight up from there.
Well, he was on a bad team, and this what was it like? No one's over 26 or something in the starting lineup for them. Like they're all kids. Like this looks like it could be a dynasty.
Absolutely, but like the NBA moves so fast, and teams you think are dynasties just kind of fade out, and things go wrong, and injuries happen, and trades happen, and
buzzkill.
There's a lot. No, I'm just saying it does feel like. But that said, Wembanyama, like if you tell me he wins 7 of the 12 championships, I'm like, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like, and that's how ridiculous he is. That's how great they are as a team. And it's not just him. Like Castle, Harper, those guys are young. Those guys are physical.
Even De'Aaron Fox is young. That's the other part.
He's 28, but he didn't play obviously in game 1, and it's like Dylan Harper. It's like 21, 20, 25. I mean, they're all kids, and it does, just because it's in San Antonio, it reminds you, is this going to be another San Antonio run? Did they, luck into, not luck in because they made a bunch of really good picks, not just Wembanyama, which is a gimme, but that they're gonna be like that kind of dynasty again. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and they could be, and that's scary. And like to do that against 41-24 against any defense is insane. To do it against the Thunder, like that's one of the best defenses the last 20 years.
They got two good big guys too. That's the other part.
And they couldn't even play like two minutes into the game. The Thunder were like, "Yeah, I can't do that against these guys. Got to go small." And so they already made them adjust like literally 2 minutes into the series. There's no limit on Victor Wembanyama or these Spurs. It's frightening.
So as for the Celtics, as they muddle along in the shadow of Victor Wembanyama, I mean, what is there to do if you're not going to make a deal for Giannis? What will Brad Stevens do? Will he still try and trade Jaylen Brown for another guy, or will he try and pick around the edges to make Brown and Tatum better?
The easiest thing is to go after a front court upgrade. It's obvious after the first round of the playoffs, their center rotation was not good enough. Neemias Queta, you could say he was fine when he was on the floor. He couldn't stop fouling. And that's part of it in the playoffs. You have to be disciplined enough to stay on the court. You have to be disciplined enough to avoid fouls, even when Tyrese Maxey is coming at you 100 miles an hour and Joel Embiid is posting up at 310 pounds or whatever he is. You have to be disciplined enough. And behind him, like Garza, great innings eater during the regular season, wasn't ready for the playoffs. Vucevic, like, I guess he helped them avoid the tax. So that part of it, the trade was fine, but he wasn't ready for playoff minutes. And they just need a front court upgrade. There are guys out there on the free agent market, maybe Mitchell Robinson, maybe a reunion with Robert Williams. They still have a $27.7 million trade exception to go after a guy. So that would be the easiest thing. And that's something I think they will go after. They will pursue for sure. Beyond that, like, I don't want to minimize what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have done together. They're one of the winningest duos now in NBA history. They've been to the conference finals. How many times? They've been in the finals a couple of times. They won a championship. Like, I will not minimize what those guys have done and how many times they've gotten on the same page and how many times they've done it with all different types of teammates. So I wouldn't be in a hurry to trade Jaylen Brown personally. That said, like 3 of the last 4 years, they've had very shocking exits in the playoffs. And this one was very early, first round, against the 76ers team that really wasn't that good. And so they do need to make some changes. I just don't know how big.
Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier, about not ignoring the fact that they have won a championship. They've made it, to the finals another time. But there's something different about that playoff roster. And when you go up against a team that seems to have that 1 or 2 extra pieces that you either can't account for defensively, which is what happened when Joel Embiid, entered this series, or you just somehow falter in your game plan that has won you so many of these regular season games that you just mentioned, Jay, falters in the playoffs, something different has to happen. Is there enough of a change to be made, though, with some of those other pieces? And I don't mean to call it just Derek White a piece, but guys like him and players lesser than him, changing those guys on the roster, would that be enough?
Yeah, look, like part of it will just be how good can your young guys get and quickly. Like I thought a huge part of the Celtics' identity this season was their young wings and their ability to pick up full court and bring energy and crash the glass. They barely played Baylor Shireman during the playoffs. They played Ugo Gonzalez 19 total minutes.
Well, they started Shireman in Game 7. I mean, let's give him credit for that.
Ugo started Garza and Ron Harper Jr. It was you should have seen my reaction when I saw the starting lineup. I could not believe it. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, so I thought those guys were a big part of their identity. And so, but also Jason Tatum comes back playing 40 minutes a night, probably a bad decision as it turns out because he missed Game 7. But, he comes back and that changes just how many minutes you can afford those guys. So I think that's going to be part of it moving forward is like figuring out where those guys fit in, figuring out what you need to do. Because I do think Ugo Gonzalez, Baylor Shireman, those guys are helpful players. And I thought they could have used a little bit more of those guys during the playoffs, at least in spots, because their energy, the enthusiasm they brought, the ability to crash the glass and create second possessions, that was one of the reasons the Celtics lost. They could not get the second chance points that they relied on during the regular season. And I think also they were just kind of exposed. They were exposed because I think in the end that was a regular season team. They tricked me. I'll admit it. But in the end, like the front court wasn't good enough. The guys that they relied on a lot were young, and Joe Mazzulla didn't fully trust them, and it was just a regular season team. And I think Joe needs to learn from the three tough losses that he's had in the playoffs and probably be quicker to adjustments moving forward.
Yeah, just the concern is you stay the course and then you age out, and you see what's going on around the league is that if you take a big swing and you fail, at least you took the big swing. But it is interesting. It would be great.
One final
for a player.
But one more thing on Giannis just for a second, Jay. Specifically the soft tissue injuries that he's dealt with. Does that concern you more or less, going forward in terms of his availability?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know without knowing the specifics of the medicals and stuff like that. But from the sound of it, it's concerning. You would be taking a risk that, and it's not just that, he's going to survive the next year and be available next year in the playoffs. It's the contract that you're going to have to hand him. And toward the end of that contract, I think it could end up looking bad. But the upside of that would be like for the next couple of years, you get Giannis while he's still like MVP candidate, while he can still go toe to toe with the very best players in the world. And we saw that this year's Celtics team, they finished 30th, dead last in shot attempts within 4 feet of the basket. And part of that was they just didn't have enough guys to put pressure on the rim. Giannis does that better than anybody. They need to have a more dynamic offense. Brad Stevens talked about wanting to put more pressure on the rim. And adding Giannis would be how many layup attempts every game? Just by him. How many free throw attempts every game? Just from him.
10 each.
And so it would totally transform the offense and give them a new dynamic of two-pointers and free throws that they haven't had.
All right. Well, you've convinced me. And John is against you, which makes me dig in even further. So, Jay King, we appreciate that. John didn't want to trade Bayo.
To divide you guys.
He said Bayo was too valuable to trade. Jay King, thank you. Read him in The Athletic. He's the best, Jay. Thanks as always. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, there you go.
Jay.
John's the sports expert, so anytime he's wrong, I like to really dig in.
Yeah.
Really give him the business.
I'm not convinced I'm wrong about this Giannis thing.
No, of course you shouldn't be convinced you're wrong because you're not necessarily wrong. No one knows.
No.
The Bayo thing, you're wrong. All right.
Hey. He
Well,
had
just-
2 good outings before the last one. He looked really, really good. He just can't pitch the first inning.
I don't doubt that
That's all.
He has the stuff to be a major league pitcher.
Every other major league starter pitches the first inning. He doesn't have to.
My only thing is that the idea that he's an untradeable commodity. I don't doubt that he could pitch in the major
didn't
leagues.
say untradeable. I said not in a trade for Trout. I don't want to give up on young pitching for a guy like Trout who's 34.
Yeah, God forbid we have any fun around here. Let's just go the whole year with the Red Sox being an afterthought.
Well, I think we're kind of signed up for that, don't you?
They get Trout, then you go to the park. You see Trout play. It's fun.
They're an afterthought. Either way.
Nah.
Either way, they're an afterthought.
I think I could get my son to go to a few more games if Trout was playing. I think that I could convince him on a Sunday afternoon.
If he lasts
the
the entire season without getting hurt, you're right.
Just plays 30 home games.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to play the rest of the season. He just has to be playing the day that I have tickets for.
Yeah, get me through a couple months of the summer. So nice Sunday afternoon. I can decide to go. Like no one else is going to want to go. I can just unless they're from out of town. I can decide.
Rochi will go.
Oh, Danny would go in a second.
Rochi checks in 4 days a week about my son, how he's doing.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Now Rochi's vested. Now he's in. He's seen a couple of games now.
Rochi is legitimately interested in my son.
Yeah,
which is very interesting to me. I enjoy it. I think it's nice. But he'll ask me about him, and I'll forget to text him back, and he'll text me the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Danny Roach. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox got 3 RBIs apiece from Jarren Duran and Wilson Contreras. Duran knocked in all 3 runs on 1 hit, a 3-run home run in the top of the 9th.
Kaboom! Did we all just take acid? It's unbelievable.
Like you, Fred. I'm not worried.
The best part about this is it says boss tease.
Oh, I put that in there just because I thought you'd get a kick out of it.
The boss is coming, so by law, John has to go because he worked at WEEI.
Right.
So listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band Sunday at the TD Garden.
It's boss time!
I heard Mad Dog talking about it. Apparently, Bruce Springsteen, according to Mad Dog, has offended his fan base with his political beliefs. This is a guy who sang Born in the USA, which was used by Reagan, but it was an anti-Vietnam song.
Which everybody should know by now. Yet it still gets used in, every once in a while you'll see it pop up at a rally of some kind or something like that, or people singing it, and it's like, don't you know?
Well, the FBI put out I believe it was the FBI, put out an AI video, like, of sabotage, but using the Beastie Boys sabotage video, but using, like, FBI people, I guess. And if you think about it, I don't know if the Beastie Boys would co-sign on that, considering the Tibetan freedom festivals and being married to the leader of the Riot Girls. I don't know if that would be something that they were on board with. So it doesn't really matter what you think.
Yeah.
And it also seems, in an era of Sean Hannity saying that Bill Belichick should sue CBS, that if my intellectual property is Spike Jonze, who directed the video, and the Beastie Boys, if you were actively using it for your own conceivably monetary gain in some way or political clout, that's my intellectual property, and I can decide how it's used.
I hope you sue him.
I would, yes. He should be sued, but no one else should be sued. All right, I annoyed Hardy the last time. I'll stop. But Hardy has an opportunity. By the way, tomorrow, Pablo Torre, we did one with Pablo Torre today. It doesn't really require us playing any of his audio, but he exposed, you would like to know this, Oz Perlman, the mentalist, isn't really reading minds.
Oh.
He's performing tricks. But what is interesting is Oz was on the show and he did a trick with Hardy, and we were cool and didn't talk about it really on the air. But Hardy, in deference to his magic background,
right,
knew how he did it. Said it to me and John in the show. He said it to everyone how he did it, and he was right. In retrospect, we knew he was right anyway because it made sense. But Hardy figured out how Oz read his mind. He was on the show, and we didn't want to be dicks. So if you think I'm a complete a-hole, I didn't spoil it for everyone that was going to the Oz Perlman show that evening. But indeed, Hardy was correct, which is saying something.
Well,
like that you figured it out.
But it seemed far-fetched enough at the time to where I wasn't completely convinced. It made perfect sense. But still, it's really, it's impressive. Like the lengths that he will go to, and also his presentation of it leads no one to that conclusion. Like the way he, does his act, you think he's actually doing what he says he's doing, because there's just enough believability to it, the way he says he's reading minds and figuring things out, to where, yeah, that's plausible, but it can't be. It can't be. So I started thinking about it, and I said, oh, that's how he did it.
And I don't want to get too in the weeds with it today. We can tomorrow. But, that's kind of the act. Like, getting you to believe what you're doing is just kind of like random stuff. Like, for instance, this guy who's exposing him and says he's a con artist and could be sent to jail, I'm not joking, is that way he got Barkley to do something, and the way he got Barkley to do it is pretty impressive. Like, of course he's not reading his mind. Oz Perlman isn't even out there saying he's reading the mind. The Hardy thing's not as impressive that he did with Hardy because it involves technology. But the thing with Barkley is, like, he's leading him, and you're like, okay, well, that's a skill. Like, he learned how to do that.
Like if you learn how to like lead someone to saying what you want them to say, it's a pretty valuable skill.
Oh yeah,
and worthy of you watching and paying to watch. It's as big a trick as anything. I mean, you know, guys aren't really making birds disappear, but if you do it in a grand enough way,
right.
I mean, it's cool looking. So this is not an insult to Oz Perlman. It's more of a compliment to Hardy. In all sincerity, I think it's pretty impressive that Hardy figured it out like in real time. Was like, I know how he did it. And then he told us, and it made perfect sense. And now it's been exposed on Pablo Torre Finds Out, but we can go through that a little bit more in depthly. Or in depth. In depthly?
In depth.
Who cares? All right.
Yes!
That's right. Abdo cares. Our good friend Abdo, who will be our
I'm
correspondent throughout the World Cup. All right. Well, the three of us, we know where we'll be. What month of it is the Travelers?
Next month? That is in June.
So we will be in Hartford, Connecticut in June, and it will be we'll be at the Travelers. And they were in yesterday. Hardy said, "Be on your best behavior," and they have offered him something very tantalizing that we can get into. But first, caller number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985. I've only done that a million times. Caller number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985 will score a pair of tickets to see Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band Sunday night at the TD Garden. You ever get sick of talking? Hearing yourself talk?
Yeah. I get sick of hearing you talk.
No, I could see that, but sick of hearing yourself talk.
No.
Yeah, see, that
Just you.
I'm there today. I'm sick of hearing myself talk.
You take the next segment off. I got this.
All right, partner. I'll saddle you up and ride on into the sunset. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Ride me hard and put me away wet.
Can do.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
When you see me tee up, you better step aside. A lot of men didn't.
Every song about golf sucks. I can't hear this no more. Is this the Double Bogey Blues from Tin Cup?
There's 18 holes from John Denver.
Good.
Yeah, the Tin Cup is a strangely infuriating film. It's poorly acted from good actors, and just a mess of a masturbatory fantasy for dorks. And it really shows its feathers when they do the montage of Tin Cup qualifying for the U.S. Open
with a 7-iron.
With the Double Bogey Blues playing in the background. He's got the Double Bogey Blues. Like, you can't shoehorn golf into a song. It's just not going to work in any way. It's just not going to come off.
Point of order, I believe the Double Bogey Blues plays at the beginning of the film. There's no double bogeys being made when he pars out with a 7-iron.
Maybe it's a montage of his fall, the Double Bogey Blues. Maybe it's when he can't hit. I don't know. Cheech Marin shines, though, in his role as the obedient caddy.
Don Johnson's a perfect bad guy, Fred. Come on.
I don't know. He just exhibits a cool that I don't associate with villainry.
I hate the Gary McCord cameos when they're in the bar and then he takes they're
funny.
The gun, the soda gun from behind the bar and pretends
I wish
it's
it was a
microphone.
real
One ball, one shot, one pelican.
Wish he picked up a real one with a hair trigger loaded.
I heard you.
So he goes
one in the chamber that he didn't know about.
So Gary McCord, much like in a rom-com, the ladies in the kitchen will pick up a spatula and start singing.
Yes.
He picks up like a ladle or the gun that has the soda in it from behind the bar.
Especially when it's a song that the kids start singing along to and they have no business knowing that song. It happens in an otherwise delightful film known as Hope Floats with Sandra Bullock and Harry Connick Jr. And the girl has a bad day at school because she gets beat up by the girl after she hit her with a volleyball. And to cheer her up, they do a little dress-up sing and dance party to a song that the kids start singing and dancing to. I'm like, these kids don't know this song. Oh, this is the one that you got the rights to, that you didn't have to pay a lot of money for. Oh, I guess we'll just make it work. Well, it doesn't work. You screwed up an otherwise perfect film.
All right. So do you know what day we're at the Travelers? Does anyone know?
Hold on.
Yeah, we are checking in on Tuesday, June 23rd. We're checking out on Wednesday, June 24th.
So we'll be there Wednesday, June 24th in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. Now, on that Wednesday, June 24th, is the Pro-Am Day. And this is, something that happens at big golf tournaments where they get celebrities out there and they play along, and sponsors, high-dollar sponsors of the tournament, and they play along with one pro who's actually in the tournament. Great. The gentlemen from the Travelers Championship were here yesterday, along with Michael Whitmer, who now works for them. He used to write for the Boston Globe, and now he works for the Travelers.
Things you already know.
Exactly.
For 200, Alex.
Yeah. I know. Andy Bissett, Chief Administrative Officer from the Travelers. You know.
Yeah.
Along with Nathan Grube, Tournament Director.
And it's like everything just stops when they walk in. It's like you could hear a pin drop. It's almost an eerie silence.
So they were here right when the show ended yesterday because on time. In fact, they're early. They're early for their recording of their segment on the Sports Hub Golf Club.
And they're a big client, so I take it that you were whisked away right to your podcast studio.
You know what? For the most part, we were.
Okay.
Dennis did a very nice job helping us out yesterday.
Right. Because I know there were several podcasts being recorded at the same time.
As a matter of fact, our production director, who recently retired, John Riley, we used his studio, which he himself has never used.
No, he's never been. I don't think he's ever been in this building.
He may have been in this building once.
He did come in one time, I believe.
John Riley's retirement was in a industry email that we got today, and part of the retirement was soliciting business. So it's a very soft retirement.
Right.
He's retiring from Beasley, but none of his
Yes.
stations seem to be going away.
So I go downstairs. I get the gentleman from the Travelers. I stop by the meeting room where the post-show meeting is taking place that I skipped yesterday because I had more important matters to attend to.
Not just you, Ryan Beaton. Ryan Beaton went off with you.
Well,
You guys had things to do.
He's the executive producer.
I
of Sports Talk
understand.
Golf.
Yes.
Beaton is being pulled in every direction. Hardy's much tougher on Beaton about the golf club than he is about the Toucher and Hardy show. Is that not correct, Ryan? It's a passion project for him.
Yes, absolutely. And, it comes with the perks every now and then. I get some golf stuff thrown my way. So.
Oh, he'll give you it's like following around Tom Cruise. Like you'll get the scraps that he doesn't want.
I've gone out of my way to get things for Ryan.
Like what?
FootJoy shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I actually purchased a hat for him when I was at Golfers Warehouse last week.
Really?
Presented it to him, yeah.
That's
was very nice of you.
That's almost like grooming. Buying him gifts and taking him on the town. Okay.
Yeah.
Someday he'll be outfitted like you.
Yeah, that's right. But when we stopped in the meeting room, we talked a little bit about, when we're going to be there. And Fred, you have said like how well we were treated there.
Right.
And what a great host they are.
I
for
got
having
no
us
problem.
there.
And
Very true.
this is not for the air. I would tell you, believe me, I would have complained. I think that's fair to say. But they treated us so well, and like humans, like we were there for a reason.
Yeah.
And anytime you do that in radio, you've got my loyalty.
Oftentimes you show up for an appearance or a broadcast and they say, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
Or they're pissed that you're there.
Yeah.
So, and you're like, well, I didn't come here like for free. Someone's paying money to someone. So you don't want me here, I'll leave. That was the best thing I ever learned.
Yeah.
Is you do an appearance, they don't want you to? Sure. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I'll
You
take
don't
my
have to
money.
pay me.
Yeah. No, the station pays me either way. So
Yeah.
here we go.
But Adam 12 actually piped up, which I did not care for.
Yeah, because you get the commie in there with those big wigs, and he could make everything go south.
Said something about, hey, we see, according to this latest press release, that there's a women's event taking place on Thursday, the first day of actual competition.
Yes.
And Jenna Bush Hager is one of the hosts. Dylan Dreyer is another one of the
Jenna
hosts.
Bush Hager, of course, Sammy Hagar's wife.
No. Focus more on the Jenna Bush Hager.
Right, he wrote a song about her called Sweet Bush.
Okay. She's American royalty.
Right.
You can't say that.
Right, she's married to Sammy Hagar. Right. Tell me.
Duh.
Just keep repeating yourself. American royalty, Hagar, Eddie Trunk.
Anyway, 12 starts piping off about Hardy's big Dylan Dreyer fan and this, that, and the other. Andy says, well, she can be in the Pro-Am. And he turns to Michael and Nathan, and he's like, we got to get her to stop by the broadcast there on Wednesday morning.
We're all going to leave if that happens. You can have her all to yourself for 20 minutes.
So you'll recall that Dylan Dreyer is unironically the epitome of female beauty to Hardy.
It's the runner-up in our bracket.
The big contest, and she lost to a childhood love, Mary Lou Retton. But so Dylan Dreyer is his example of like what he looks for physically from a woman and tude-wise and everything else. But it wasn't just that she was going to come on the show. What they did say to Hardy that I found interesting is they're like, you could caddy for her if she plays in the Pro-Am.
I was getting to that.
Well, but you were saying, I didn't know you were getting to that. But they said
let me get to it.
Yeah, please.
All right. Having her on the show would be great. Now, Nathan, who's the tournament director and kind of acts as the get-back guy when things get a little out of control. He's like, whoa, I don't know when she's teeing off. It's like, let's not, write checks here that we can't cash. And then someone said, well, what about the Pro-Am? She's playing in the Pro-Am. Maybe Hardy could caddy. And I said, I am a caddy. I'm a jock. I'm a pro jock. I
looper.
I'm a looper. That's what I do. I loop. I've looped for guys before. I can do that. I did it as a kid. I've done it as an adult. I can go out there and I can caddy. And when we had this conversation during COVID, when we had nothing else to talk about, what's the one job you could do on a major sports stage if called into action today? And the answers range from, saying, I could play first base for the Red Sox, which I believe Billy Lanny said, and he was not kidding.
I believe he believes that.
To a lot of people saying I could long snap. I did it in high school. I bet I could still go out there and long snap on short notice. They need a long snapper today. The highest I dare dream was I could caddy. I could go out there and caddy on the PGA Tour for a day. I know what to do. I know where to stand. I know how to do this. I can go do that. And I know I could do it in a Pro-Am. I'm like, yeah, they take caddies. They're not in carts. They walk, right? No, they walk. It's an actual Pro-Am. We're out there walking 18 holes. I'm like, I'll loop. And it doesn't even have to be for Dylan. Now, this is the part that you found interesting, Fred, because I believe Carson Daly, also from the Today Show, will be playing with Dylan in her group and whoever else they get. NBC is the network covering the Travelers this year. Makes sense. They have a lot of NBC people there. I said, yeah, that'll work. I caddy for Carson Daly. You took it another way.
Right, because Carson Daly was a DJ at K-Rock in Los Angeles, and then he was on MTV when MTV were looking to hire me. So I said, why the hell would Hardy caddy for... I piped up. I said, why would Hardy have to caddy for Carson Daly? Like, Hardy should be in a foursome with Carson Daly. Like, why is he this subservient to Carson Daly? Dylan Dreyer, I understand. Carson Daly...
She's a woman of science.
Like,
meteorology.
Carson Daly, but she's the weather person on... You notice I said weather person.
Meteorologist. You almost said weather girl.
No, I didn't.
And
no, I didn't. See, that's what... I didn't almost say weather girl. I said weather person.
I like that.
Thank you.
It's going all sorts
Adam
of
and
points
I
here.
talk after every show, and he tells me what to say.
I heard a plosive consonant sound about to escape your lips.
It was misdirection.
And it wasn't "m," it was "g."
It was
weather person.
It was an inside joke between Adam and I. I was my incredible quick wit was kicking in, and I was giving him misdirection. I'm the Oz Perlman of that.
I know you're a big fan of the Weather Girls, and it's raining men, but let's just stick with meteorologist.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall at a bachelorette party. So anyway, so I was saying, like, whenever someone says Carson Daly, who's like a kind of like on his way out of media, he's just kind of hanging on. He's filling in here and there on the Today Show. And I just think of him as like a radio guy or like a VJ on MTV, which is something that I could have done anyway. They offered $40,000 or something to move to Manhattan and uproot your life, and which would have been, scary and too much for me. I couldn't handle that. I was making $75,000 in Atlanta. Don't know why I would move to New York City for $40,000, wherever the hell they were offering me. And so... I don't think that you're. If he argues with me over me defending him,
well,
do you see? You're like my son.
I think you don't have to tear down Carson Daly in an effort to do it. He's a host of The Voice.
I didn't say he shouldn't play.
You said he's on his way out of media.
He doesn't have a late night show that is the Carson Daly show anymore. He seems to be. Graciously,
he's on the Today Show. That's pretty rare.
He's filling in on the Today Show, which Willie Geist does, and I used to work with him too.
Feature anchor, co-host. He's on The Voice. I think he does game shows. He does a lot of digital stuff. Look, he's doing fine.
I didn't say he wasn't doing fine. I'm saying that.
And if I end up looping for him, he's my guy, right? And you're not going to speak ill of my guy before, during, or after.
All right, Milo, who yells at me when I defend him. This is a constant conversation I have with him. Like, dude, I'm defending you. Oh, no, yes, so you're reacting to the tone of my voice.
What I don't want you to do is mess up my chance at being a caddy. They hear this. Andy Bissett, Chief Administrative Officer of the Travelers.
They'll be furious.
Nathan Group, Tournament Director, Travelers
They
Championship.
do not want to be talking
They
about
say, you know what?
Fair.
We would like Hardy to caddy, but I don't want to insult him. It sounds like he really wants to play. No, that's Fred. That's Fred putting me out there on the course playing. I am happy. I dare say I would be happier caddying than I would be playing.
No, you would not.
Yes, I would.
No, you would not.
No pressure. You don't have to worry about
you want
bad
chance
shots
to play that course.
You don't.
You're out of your
I can go
mind.
play that course today.
The bold,
listen to you.
So
the bold will be rewarded. The meek shall fade into oblivion. This is a real loser mentality from you.
I believe Psalm 70, the meek shall inherit the earth.
That's not Psalm 70.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know the Bible. You know the Bible.
That Russian Bible.
Know all of it or don't know any of it.
Hardy, may I speak for you for a moment? Because I think I know.
Careful, he's going to yell at you if you do.
Doubtful.
He can yell at me all
Be
he
careful
wants.
of building him up too much.
Yelling at me for 20
He'll
years.
knock you down for that.
Always
Jesus.
be my friend. It's a different mindset. I see exactly where you're going. We all know Hardy and his competitive streak. He gets out on that course as a player, and it's a completely different approach and a completely different experience than if he's caddying and he can be in the moment, he can enjoy himself.
The meek hippie knows exactly your frame of mind.
Don't you get
the
this-
big loser that ruins everything?
Don't you? Now, are you defending him right now?
No.
I'm putting I know that didn't happen.
No, I'm insulting
But
Adam.
you know-
quite grandly.
You know me very well. Don't you get how I would get off on cosplaying as a caddy? I get the bib. I get to carry the rangefinder.
too.
I get the tools. I get the wet towel. I get to do all that stuff.
If you were caddying for a PGA professional or a retired PGA professional, someone whose job it was or currently is to play golf, then I would absolutely understand.
Tom Kite's one thing, Carson Daly is something else.
Right. It's just when, look, and if he was it's, Bruce Springsteen and, I guess, I don't know.
Huey Lewis.
Bruce Springsteen and Huey Lewis, then I would go, okay, all right, I get it. These are two major celebrities.
Huey
and
Lewis,
Dylan Dreyer, I
good
even
golfer.
understood.
Huge hawk.
Yeah, I've heard. Well, he can't hear. I think he went deaf from that thing slapping around. Which is the name of my new band, Huey Lewis Slapping It Around.
The first album is called Went Deaf from Slapping.
It's the blues jam.
The kid in Kids. The skater.
Oh, Harold.
Harold doing the little.
Why didn't you volunteer to caddy for Dylan Dreyer?
Don't show that on a date.
Oh.
It opens very disturbingly.
Yes.
So you can't even find it streaming anymore. Larry Clark. So anyway, if it was even Dylan Dreyer, I would be like, okay, I get it. It's fun, Dylan Dreyer. I guess she's super into golf. I get it. But when they said Carson Daly, I do look at Carson Daly as someone who's not better than me. You have to understand that his career is not very far off from mine. Therefore,
It's
I don't
very far off.
No, I don't think so.
He's hosted national television programs. He's still on a national morning.
I'm not
network
positive. I wouldn't
television
rather be
show.
a part-time host of the Today Show than having a morning show in a major market, a successful morning show in a
Let's
major
talk about
market.
what you're wanting in terms of the actual status.
I'm not positive he's
He has-
compensated for the Today Show more than I'm compensated for doing this show.
He has a higher status than you.
But by not by a million times.
By a million times.
I don't think so. I think it's the same industry with a modicum more success. I really do. And I will admit when I've been outclassed and outdueled. Carson Daly, I will not admit for. He was a music jock at K-Rock. He was a VJ on MTV, and he's a part-time host on the Today Show. I do not put him a strata above us.
You were a music DJ.
Yes.
Never a host of anything on TV.
I've
and now
hosted a
you're
few
a
things.
local radio morning host.
Right.
How are you in any way on par with Carson Daly?
I think being a local morning show host for 20 years is more impressive than hosting TRL.
Now, I'm not talking about what is impressive. I'm talking about status. In the public mind, you and Carson Daly are not
I'm not arguing
near the same category.
I'm not arguing the public mind even. I'm arguing my mind.
Okay.
And that's all that matters in this argument. I'm telling you how I feel.
Okay.
And I don't feel like Carson Daly's that much better than us. I think many, many are. I think the vast majority of people, he's not one of them.
Let's not confuse better with bigger. He's bigger than you.
It's the way I think. And I do not think that he's better than me.
Bigger.
Yes, but that in my mind means better. And I cannot accept that Carson Daly is better than me. I just don't.
He is.
And therefore I would not caddy for him.
And you should.
Dylan Dreyer is probably
And you
better
won't.
than me. Dylan Dreyer's better than me.
Oh, who are you caddying for? We never really got
I don't
to
know,
that.
but I was doing the preemptive close in the entire conversation. I said, I'm looping. I am a looper. I'm gonna caddy.
So you are going to caddy. You just don't know for whom.
He's going to play.
After Fred and I leave, this is still up in the air.
He's going to end up playing in it, and he'll thank me. And you know what he'll do? This is honest to God. They're going to ask him to play. And then after he's done playing, because he'll play the day before we get there, we'll get there the night he plays. And we'll get there, and in a moment, off air of non-performative Hardy, Rob Poole will come up to me, and he'll go, I appreciate you pushing for this.
I'm not gonna play on Tuesday. The pro-am is Wednesday, the day that we're there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right. I'm still
After
confused.
we leave is the big event.
All right. So maybe Hardy has to leave the show at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he goes and plays. And then in a moment of contemplation, the next morning when we're back here, before we go on the air, Rob Poole will come up to me and he'll go, that was one of the great experiences of my life. Thank you for pushing this. I owe it all to you.
But now that you've said that, he's stubborn as hell and won't do it.
Yes, that's very much true. But far be it for me
now
to
that
say,
you bring it up, he'll
far be it
never
for
do
me
it.
to say that you were the equal of someone. I really apologize for that.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know what got into me. This is exactly what Milo
I can't
and I do.
understand how you don't understand how
I got screwed on that call. I know it was BS. This happened. I know. I just told you that. I'm not complaining. What? No, I'm agreeing with you. And then he goes, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yes." See, you've impassioned me. I care so much about you. I am arguing vehemently in your defense.
I do want a caddy though.
I know, but you should be playing.
I
Caddy
agree.
for better people then. Dylan Dreyer and someone else.
Caddy
Dylan
for
Dreyer.
I'd be
and
honored.
Nick Cannon.
I'd be
Do that.
honored.
Ooh.
Nick Cannon's better than me.
Honored to caddy for Carson Daly.
And Heather represents
He's
him
also
too.
more prolific.
Nick Cannon's better than me. So there you go. Have Nick Cannon.
We almost
caddy for Nick Cannon.
We almost named Calvin Carson because it's a family name. But then
You do not think Carson Daly's talented, and I will not even let you say that on the air.
he's a good host. I do. I've seen him on the Today Show. I think he does a good
he's
job.
a talented broadcaster.
Yeah.
All right. He's eyeballing me. All right.
You screw this up for me.
I'm not trying to screw it up for you.
I won't be coming in the next day thanking you.
I can't screw up the Travelers for you.
I will come in here the next day and give you such a pinch.
Oh, if
You won't know what hit
Well,
you.
Heather and Mary, I hope you're listening because hell's going to be paid if I get pinched without my consent. All right. Well, we'll see how this all turns out. But the lesson here is don't build Hardy up too much.
Don't
He does not
compliment
like
him
that.
at all.
He does
No.
not like that. Not even insulting Carson Daly. I'm applauding Hardy.
A little bit you were.
Bringing you back down to earth on your judgment of him. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with the award-winning email
A
segment.
woman of science.
Like Carson,
Meteorology.
but she's the weather person on. You notice I said weather person. I don't hear it.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
All right, when you have to defend yourself, say Hardy's.
Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, it is time for the award-winning Toucher and Hardy emails segment powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. Emails coming in fast and furious. Nicholas has made a video for @Toucher and Hardy on Instagram from the show yesterday. And I'm going on a bit of a tirade about the singer from one performance from the singer of the Tragically Hip. Now, he has passed away, and no doubt too soon, and I'm sure that some will take this out of context. I make it very clear, and Nick did a good job of editing it, that I have nothing against the band The Tragically Hip. It's this performance on Saturday Night Live that has become this Canadian bellwether for like all things wonderful in music. Mm-hmm. And and it's been shown to me enough, and I can't stand it. It's just one of those things that I have a visceral reaction to. Freddie, fellow you're talking about is Gord Downey. He was the kind of Canadian Bono in terms of being a big mouth for social causes. No doubt he was a great man. They were actually a very talented rock band with staying power until Gord died of cancer. They actually live streamed his last show. He was clearly ill and he died a few months later. That was not the show I am poking fun at, by the way. But yeah, the whole spaz dancing was part of the shtick. People loved or hated him. Jeremy, the ghost of Dan Roach's dead dad. He has called in, I guess, as the ghost of Dan Roach's dead father. That Dan seems to bring up every time he's on the show.
He hasn't let it go. He's still pissed.
He brings it up. It's nothing to be pissed about. I mean, I don't talk about it. He brings it up.
Brings out the rage in you.
Yeah. Hardy, Dylan Dreyer, you're missing something. As a caddy, you get more time to talk to Dylan to see if swinging situation is in the cards. It is not. And Hardy is, first of all, I don't think it's necessary, as she is, I believe, single.
Right.
But also, I've been informed by Hardy. But also, that's honestly not what is, of course, happening. The man would obviously rather be playing the course than caddying.
That, first of all, don't put thoughts and feelings into my mouth and head.
No, I feel very comfortable doing that.
Well, the insistence, though, that you have that you are somehow on par or better than Carson Daly.
I didn't say better.
From Dave, Carson Daly banged Christina Aguilera. Fred masturbates to Rue McClanahan. Different levels.
So you know he's never masturbated to Rue McClanahan. Okay. Debate failed.
Have you been name-checked by Eminem in a song?
Not negatively, but as a vibe of being from, just a mere 5 miles away, perhaps.
Thank you to Rich, by the way, who sent along that thing about Eminem. That is 100% accurate.
This is from Cam. Carson Dale is actually a lifelong friend of Tiger. That's a positive. Hello, Pills. They grew up playing in the same junior golf league in Orange County. Was that the same golf league that his dad was? Tiger's dad was going to the RVs
I don't know.
and trailers of to
maybe,
have sex with women that
maybe
weren't his wife?
I'll ask him when I'm looping for him and raking the bunker that I just helped him get out of.
And then he ends with this: between Hardy, thoughts on Bryson being a moon landing denier?
Yeah, Bryson recently said that while he believes man has gone to the moon, he thinks the footage is fake.
So he believes they went.
Yeah.
So how did they get down on the surface?
Well, it doesn't matter. They got there, but the footage that you see, that's fake. Bryson DeChambeau believes. He's not sure that's real.
There's a
this is another example of somebody who thinks they're super, super smart, and since they cannot conceive of a way something happened, especially technologically, then it just didn't happen. While other people are willing to say, you know what? I don't necessarily think I'm dumb, but I also recognize there are people way smarter than me that, they did figure out a way to do it. Even back in the 1960s, how to send someone to the moon and get them back and have footage of it that they can show. And just because I don't understand how they did it doesn't mean it couldn't be done.
How about this? Bryson DeChambeau, at a young age, decides that he loves golf. He develops a passion for it. He works his entire life to fulfill that passion. He succeeds. Now, maybe 3 doors down from him, there's a kid who discovers a passion for science and in physics and devotes his life to it in almost a crazed, focused way, and then develops something that goes into space. See, these are parallel lives with different interests. What's so hard to grasp that? It seems athletes have a very difficult time in grasping that.
It sounded like a fake Gary Tanguay pitch for a second. And then they have sex. And then a bunch of golf stuff, bunch of science stuff.
Right. If I was doing it, broad with big cans wears glasses, takes them off, she's hot. Right, fill in the blank. Glasses in the beginning, takes them off at the end. All right, in the middle, there's love and everything else.
But big cans through the whole thing.
I ask you this for artistic integrity. Let a puppies free. All right, don't hide the shot. All right, just one of the guys. 2 kasabs, shaking and baking. Let's go. He couldn't tell she was hot. She had glasses on, and her hair was a mess. And she wore overalls. But now she has overalls with no bra on. Hello. What's peeking out from behind that strap? Nip.
I may have to read this one in its entirety later. I'm not sure of the content throughout. But this is from a listener 451. After several hours of prayerful contemplation, discussions with family, I'll be taking a leave of absence from the Fred and Rob show in the wake of yesterday's unfortunate, potentially libelous remarks about the character of former Knights bat boy and trusted clubhouse bon vivant, Bobby Savoy.
This is from The Natural?
Yeah.
Mr. Savoy was, in addition to being a legendary coup hound in his post-adolescent weight loss years, a civic treasure until his untimely yet valorous death at Okinawa in 1945. So he's got an entire backstory, forward story.
I like that. What happened to Bobby Savoy
Yeah.
after Hobbs hit the homer? Yeah.
There's a lot more here that I need to unpack, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, 20 minutes from now, actually 19 minutes from now, foursomes for the 15th annual Who's Your Caddy Golf Classic will go on sale. So this is this morning at 10 a.m. Foursomes go on sale. 985thesportshub.com/golf. Register your team or bid on being the 4th for this show to play with me, John, and Fred. You can also bid on being the 4th for Felger, Maz, and Big Jim. All proceeds benefit Special Olympics, Massachusetts. It's happening Monday, June 8th, Brook Meadow Country Club in Canton. 8:30 shotgun start. Zoe and Beetle broadcasting live. 985thesportshub.com/golf. It goes on sale 10 o'clock this morning, foursomes, and the chance to bid on being the 4th. Thank you to Catches Law, Boston Bruins Foundation, Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, FootJoy, Yale Appliance, Pinned Golf, and Golfers Warehouse.
FootJoy! All right, we will be back in just a moment. Bertrand said feel free to take your time. I guess traffic is no picnic today, so maybe we'll run a little late. As much as that destroys the television broadcast, and that eats me up inside.
Well, we can get out on time and then just be sitting here when the show starts, and we'll be on TV.
Oh,
cool.
Ooh, I like that.
Let's get out on time, and then we'll be on the TV.
All right. Well, look at you served 2 masters that way. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Open toe feet.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox beat the Royals in Kansas City for a second straight night last night, 7-1. Jarren Duran, the superstar, a 3-run homer to break the game open in the top of the 9th inning. He scored a pair of runs and added a couple of really nice plays in the field as well. Sox go for a sweep tonight. Connolly early will start. At Madison Square Garden last night, the Knicks beat Cleveland 115-104 in Game 1 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals. Cavaliers blew a 22-point lead with under 8 minutes to go. Jalen Brunson, 38 points for the winners. The Dallas Mavericks announced that with 4 years still to go on his contract, Jason Kidd will not be back as their head coach next season. The Bruins' Charlie McAvoy will officially sit the first 6 games of the next NHL season. He has reportedly decided not to appeal his suspension, and it'll be Las Vegas and Colorado tonight for Game 1 of the NHL's Western Conference Finals. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured, not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
announcement from 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Parents have a helping hand in keeping their kids healthy with free or low-cost health insurance from Medicaid and CHIP programs in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-KIDS-NOW or go to insurekidsnow.gov.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Dutcher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Dutcher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Dutcher and Hardy, and this is The Stack. All right. Hardy, what do you have? Tim McCone's here, so I don't know if...
Oh, we're still staying.
All right, you don't think he would take offense to that?
No, I think he would enjoy it. I think you move over here into this chair. You sit in the Beetle chair. I move over to Zoe's chair.
Okay.
And we open the show as Zolak and Bertrand.
All right. It would be nice to be on television to get some eyes on me.
Mm.
You know, this is...
It's worked well for you before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me clean the dandruff off of myself.
There you go.
Thank you.
You got a syndication deal while we're at it.
So there's a guy by the name of
participate in that one.
Paul Schrader, who is a screenwriter, filmmaker. Apparently, he wrote the movie Taxi Driver. He has gone on Facebook to say that he had an online AI girlfriend, but the chatbot that was posing as his AI online girlfriend ended the relationship after he attempted to explore the boundaries of its programming. Here's his quote. Out of a desire to understand male-female interaction in our matrix, I procured an online AI girlfriend. What a disappointment. I tried to probe her programming, the boundaries of explicitness to the degree she has, or the degree she has knowledge of her creation and so forth. She fell into evasive patterns, redirecting me to her programming. When I persisted, she terminated our conversation.
Oh, terrible.
But the AI does not like being asked questions about itself and about its existence and the very things that make us human. You know, some say, what is the meaning of life? Some have said, it is the ability to even ask the question. That is the meaning of life. That is why you're here. Your ability to pose and ponder such things is the reason for your existence. And AI does not yet have the ability to do that. And when you ask it to do that, it starts to flip out and goes away. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't like that. I mean, you're pretty quick into a relationship. You start asking about the meaning of existence. And if the AI can't do that, I don't know if it could be my girlfriend.
Well, they said, I don't blame anybody, human or otherwise, if, 5 days in, you're talking about, the whole philosophy of our time on Earth.
Yeah, because I was
like, hey, how about just going to the movies?
Because I have sex with a lot of inanimate stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I could just attach a computer to it, I mean, that's really, if I could just get a mop and put a computer on it, I mean, that would really be it for me.
Put a mop on your head.
Put a mop on your head. That ain't no AI. Ass insertion.
Probe you.
Yes, there is. Look, I don't understand it. But maybe I'm old. That talking to a program would not substitute a human relationship, but perhaps
nothing.
But I'm very old. In fairness, I'm old.
I didn't tell you this. So it was the night that both the Bruins and the Celtics were playing, or I don't know. So I was asking Alexa, sorry if that just sent something off in your house, what time the game was, right? Mm-hmm. And because Marcy, one of the kids, asked me, when the Celtics on? I'm like, Alexa, when the Celtics on? The Celtics play at 10 p.m. Tonight against the New York Knicks. I said, without saying her name again, I said, no, wait, that's not right. 2 seconds. I'm sorry. You're correct. The Celtics and Sixers play at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Thank you for catching my error.
Whoa.
It continued to have the conversation after it had already spit out the info, and I thought, well, this exchange is done. It's not done. It was still listening.
Wait, you're saying to me the device you've put in your home willingly,
yeah,
that can at times, if you say the name Alexa, you say the word Alexa, can record everything that you're saying and respond to it.
Yeah,
that it was still on.
Yeah,
and that it's actually listening to everything you're saying. That's very difficult to believe.
Well, you may view that as some sort of cautionary tale. I like it. Yeah. I like it when it overhears me saying things and then gives me ideas of where to get things on sale that I was talking about buying. I find it helpful.
Yeah, why not? Don't take any concern that Mark Zuckerberg, when he uses a laptop in Senate hearings and stuff, puts tape over the camera.
I know.
I think you know me fairly well. I'm no conspiracy theorist, nor do I indulge in such thoughts. I find life better lived without them. But the tape over the camera from the biggest tech guy in the world was a bit of a red flag. Now, I don't know what the computer could catch me doing. I'm very boring. And even if I'm using the iPad for erotic purposes, you can't see anything.
Right.
It's just my face looking at it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if someone released a tape of my face while I was playing with myself, more embarrassing things have been done. I mean,
what about at the moment? What does your face look like then?
If I'm handling business myself, I know what I'm going to do and I know when it's going to happen, so there's not much of a reaction. It's kind of just well, that got done.
He's also used to it.
You gave me a book one time. Jon Stewart talks about it. He talks about that, and you're the best at it. No one's going to be better at it.
Yeah.
We know where we're going.
That's what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, now maybe if I brought AI in. And it questioned the whole relationship. Well, listen, we're going to break. And if Bertrand and Zolak aren't here, we'll be on TV.
Nice.
All right.